What's the word? It's your boy Rashad back, back at it again with another episode of Things of That Nature, episode 167. Gots to get to it, feeling good on this Sunday, starting off the week. No, we gotta start the week off right. Repost the space, repost the space, repost the space. Let's get some folks in here to have some good quality conversation like we usually do. But before we get to that, the Patreon is in the jumbo. There is a free tier. There is a $5 tier. There is a $10 tier. Whatever tier you decide to subscribe, I definitely would appreciate it. Gots to get to it, man. Quality content. Soon as you subscribe, you get a Discord link. Lot of fun shit going on in the Discord. We are having a viewing. Everybody in the Discord. The first episode of the podcast comes out September 26th. September 26th. September 26th. That is a Friday. On Saturday at 12 p.m., everybody going into the Discord and we are all viewing the podcast together. Get all your takes, your likes, your dislikes. Don't want no motherfucking glaze fest. I want to hear how you really feel about that shit. So go ahead and subscribe to the Patreon so you can be a part of the first episode viewing in the Discord. I definitely appreciate it, man. Got to get to it. Another good day on the timeline. Got a lot of rest. Feeling good, man. Pixie, what's the word? How you feeling?
Good morning, afternoon actually. Hope you're feeling good. I'm feeling good this morning. And shout out to you. I was trying to repost a space, by the way. For some reason, it's not coming up for me. But shout out to you for putting up the Mastermind Saga. You know, that's a personal favorite.
Yeah, that is part one. There is three parts to this goddamn Mastermind Saga, man. The nigga is crazy as a roach. I was listening back to it. Some of the shit that was said, I never heard it said ever in my life. Most ridiculous back and forth, especially at the end. I didn't know it was so many layers to just that one space. My memory is a little foggy. I thought it was more spread out, but
Nah,
in
yeah,
that one episode, it was Duchess had the $500 scam. Then it was Gabrielle talk about her mastermind link. Then he flew out to see her. Then it was Will Worker that came up there and said he gonna kill him. That's all in one space.
that's why I said it's a top tier. Like I personally feel like whoever's doing a list out there for list of the top tier space moments of the year, just wink wink, nudge nudge, whoever is doing it, that has to be on it. That has to be one of the top tier fucking spaces. That saga alone is it's so
Yeah,
ridiculous.
I was listening back and I was just like, damn. Cause I haven't listened to that one in a while, but I know it was three spaces cause the first one, which I posted, this morning, that was him like denying that he knew Duchess at all. Like the whole space he spent just like, I don't know who the fuck she is. I don't know how she got my name. I don't know how she got my Snapchat. She just crazy. Like after the two spaces, we kind of wore the nigga down. And so in the last part, which I've edited now, he finally said, yeah, I know her. And it was like, nigga, you spent 3 days denying her. Like what the fuck is going on? I ain't gonna lie. That shit is a classic. That nigga Will
Classic.
Worker came up to the stage. I ain't even seen fam since. But when he came up to the stage that day, he had something for Mastermind Ass. He said he gonna be sitting on the edge of his bed smoking a cigarette. I said, damn it. That sounds
It was a span of 6 hours. I recall that it was from like 12 p because it didn't start from there, but like around 12ish, you had a space, and then we cut it like you cut it early, and then it was like three something. We went back. I remember I fell asleep like a good chunk of the space, and then I wake up to like yelling, hollering, and screaming, and
yeah, that shit was definitely I'm not gonna lie, that shit was definitely like 5 hours, I think. 5 plus.
yeah, it was like More than that, because I mean, you were rolling that day from 12, and then I don't think you ended till like 8 something, 8
Yeah,
o'clock, if
that
anything.
shit was, I ain't gonna lie, that was ridiculous. Listen, y'all go subscribe to the Patreon. Listen back to that space. Mastermind Saga Part 1. Pull up and punch about it. It is in the jumbo right now. It's pinned to my page. Y'all go ahead and listen to that shit. That is a classic. Mick Gotti, what's the word? How you feeling today?
Shit, I'm doing alright, man. I'm just recovering from the weekend, kinda.
Mick, you getting in that age range, man, where you can't just be turning up every weekend. What's the word, man?
It's not every weekend, man. It's Labor Day weekend. My birthday is in 2 weeks, nigga. I'm outside for these next couple days, and then I'm sitting the fuck down. I can guarantee it.
Fist in the air for all the Virgos. Listen, we are the best people on in the world.
I'm not gonna
That's
hold you. I
That's
love
a
y'all
fact.
Virgos down. Love y'all Virgos down.
We are the best people in the world. September Virgos are only though. August Virgos a little iffy, but they still a part of the club. September Virgos, we are the best people in the world. That's just factual. I don't make the rules. You know what
Top
I mean?
tier,
I just
top
live by
tier,
them.
top tier.
Love y'all. As a Pisces, I love y'all down, man. Sister sign down. Love y'all down.
Listen, man, gots to get to it. What you doing for your birthday, Mick?
Nothing, man. Like you said, I'm getting too old to turn up, and my shit on a Wednesday, so I'm probably I'm gonna let you down because I definitely took the day off, and I'm doing it next year too. Um, and I'll probably getting a tattoo. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
that is baddie behavior. Can't lie.
Okay.
That's baddie behavior.
He
Nigga,
can't get a tattoo?
time out.
Tattoo because it's your birthday. Can't lie.
Nigga, no, I was supposed to get a tattoo before my birthday. I just had bills and other shit to worry about. So, and you can't talk shit to me, nigga. Look at your diet, nigga. You be eating Ritz crackers and fucking
Hey,
and
it's a
bubble
lot
gum.
of hate going on about my diet. I definitely don't like it. But speaking of baddie behavior, I just want to put it out there. Um, I seen Joe in his birthday. Wonderful event it looks like. The guys showed up, everybody who showed up. Ish had the goddamn glasses on. Never seen Ish get in his bag like that. I think Parks was best dressed. Park showed up and showed out. Him and his wife looked amazing. What I did notice is that Joe had two outfits. First thing that came to my mind, baddie behavior. Listen, two outfits on your birthday is extreme baddie behavior, but he deserved it.
Rashad, you're not gonna do
And,
that?
and he claims he's a baddie all the time.
Hey, he deserves it. I definitely like seeing those men, older men. Like I said, black men deserve to grow old, and seeing them and just the stories that they tell, where they came from. It was definitely something to see them niggas looking good, feeling good, having the time of their life. Another year around the sun. But Joe was definitely in his baddie bag with the outfit change. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely. Listen, Joe looks so good. And like I'm seeing people talk about Parks, but the details, I'm gonna post a picture of Joe, but the details on his Van Cleef to the
Yo,
top,
that those
like this
suits.
nigga looked it good, okay? And then I just think that he's a reflection of the room, and to see everybody else look so nice, like Ish was like entertaining. He looked it good too. He looked it like money. Y'all gotta look at the other clips on Joe's like Instagram. And then all of the bad women in the room. I'm like, Joe is exactly who the fuck he think he is. He looked nice. He really did. Definitely looked like my invitation was lost, but I'm telling you, that's somewhere you probably wanted to be. And I see a lot of people talk about like, where's Flip? If Flip corny ass dipped out on the occasion because he didn't want to get a suit, I think Joe should suspend him. I think that should be grounds for suspension. Because wasn't the last time on the show where they had to dress up, and I think that Flip didn't dress up, and I think wasn't it Ice the only one that dressed up? Like,
Yeah, Ice was the only one. He
these
pulled up in the
niggas need to
tux.
get
No
penalized.
socks.
Yeah.
Listen,
Loafers.
I love a good occasion and where I got to throw on a suit. I looking at them though, looking at Parks and Joe and Ish, I gotta get more suits, man. Them niggas
Yeah,
was clean as fuck.
How many suits you
Not
got,
gonna lie.
brother?
absolutely.
Them niggas was
You
clean.
gotta have a good suit. Like you gotta have a
Hold
good
on,
couple
hold on,
suits.
hold
I feel
on,
as
hold
a
on,
man.
hold on, lady. Excuse me. Let me scald this nigga. How many suits you got, brother?
I got 6.
That's a nice amount. As
No,
long
but
as you.
I listen, like Bray said, the details, them niggas was clean. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, fuck, before
I
I need to
tell
get me
every
some
nigga
more.
that's at least over 30, brother. You at least want about one suit a year, one custom suit a year. Whether it's New Year's, your birthday, figure it out. Whatever works for your
Yeah, I
time.
be mixing and matching now, but yeah, I got 6. Know what I mean? Couple pairs of shoes. So yeah, but I
Yeah, it's
seen
got
that
to be
they
the
just look
details.
grown.
Like Joe Ring, that other hand, I got to go back and look at the picture, but that other hand was busy. Like, I can smell them niggas through my phone. Like, listen, Joe
Yeah,
looked
them niggas.
good.
It got you going, Bray? It got you going?
My God,
Huh?
right?
It gets you going?
Well, listen, I love what Sweetie said. A rich nigga, that's my type. Listen, that shit. But I just also too like a good outing. I'm an event girl, so I like that people did. I seen a picture that somebody was like, "Look at these niggas." That was, I think they had like tennis shoes on, and it was like 3 niggas, and they did kind of stand out to the other niggas, but they still kind of dressed up. But I like when people respect a theme, come dressed, come tailored. And it seemed most of them did it. It looked really nice. It looked like they had a good time. But yeah, that's what I wanted to say.
Speaking of respect, I wanted to get to first topic. I seen something very, very nasty on the timeline yesterday. Kind of broke my heart. I'm glad you up here, DB. Ray Lewis. Listen, I never thought we'd see the day when Ray Lewis was a candidate for nasty individual, but what he said about Shannon Sharpe, couldn't believe it. If y'all don't know, Ray Lewis and Shannon Sharpe played on the Baltimore Ravens at the same time, especially when they won their Super Bowl. They were considered, or they called each other brother. Very close relationship from the outside looking in. I don't know what happened, what went wrong, but Ray Lewis turned hater. Oh, he was asked if he ever saw or foresaw Shannon Sharpe being the media personality that he is and as big as he is now. Pause. That was all that he was asked. Period, point blank. This nigga start rambling about how Shannon never used to drink. Now he drink. He never smoked. Now he smoke. He don't like his content. He done sold out in a sense. I said, God damn. Where the fuck that shit come from? Lot of nasty smut, in my opinion. It was hateful. I don't know if Ray Lewis on the press run, he trying to promote something, he a clout chaser, but that was clout demonish. And I wanted to know how y'all niggas felt about that. DB said it wasn't no hate. I definitely want to hear him. Mick Gotti, what's the word? How you feeling?
Man, that nigga was hating. The nerve of that fucking murderer ass nigga to get on a podcast mic and have the gall to say he embarrassed by a nigga. You stabbed a nigga the year you won a Super Bowl, bitch. Did you forget that in the midst of your 15 kids with 15 different bitches? Who is he to sit on any podcast or any moral high ground and look down on anybody because a nigga was fucking too much? The nerve of that nigga, man.
And it wasn't even about him fucking. He was talking about the content. Like,
Yeah,
I don't know why
nigga.
he doing, it's like, nigga, what? Like,
You
I
know
can
what I
see if, like, he had some, like, ridiculous shit where he is, promoting degeneracy or some shit like that. The nigga just interview people and about their careers and their life and, like, let them get their shit off. Like, what are you necessarily talking about? I don't understand that shit.
I
That
think
just,
I think I think the root of their beef though been going on for a little while. I don't know if you remember this, but remember when Skip and Shannon first started doing Undisputed, they would bring Ray Lewis on as a guest sometimes, and he would come in and speak. And I remember they was arguing about I want to say the Kaepernick thing, because that's around the time all that shit was going on. And Ray was like very much on the side of good old company man. This is bad for the league. He's not doing like on some basically on some coon kind of shit. And Shannon called him to the carpet on it, like on live TV. And from that moment on, I ain't really see them niggas kikiing together no more. So maybe that's where it stems from. I don't know, but
If
that
you
shit
my
is
Let me.
mans,
So
I can say that you on bullshit and we should still be friends.
nah,
Like,
the thing is like again, as we know, Shannon didn't drink. He wasn't that wasn't his bag when his playing days. He wasn't promoting that shit. Those that know, right? Reason being because his personal, shit he saw in his family and his dynamic and upbringing and all that, right? In addition to that, what Ray is mad at is it's not a negative trope in the black community. It's those that it depends on how people view it, but the unk trope is as far as the you nigga you on national TV with smoking Black and Miles, and you got the Hennessy and that's that persona. That's what it was. It was the persona of unk that Ray was like, nigga, this ain't you or your bag, nigga. What the fuck you talking about, nigga? You unk, and you got Hennessy and you drinking and all this other shit. So that's what Ray Lewis more so was speaking to in regards to, nigga, this ain't my brother that I know. And yes, Ray has changed his life. We all can see that, even from his plan after he went through what he went through. Like
murder.
my brother said, in regards to that, he found not guilty, so he beat the case.
Nigga's a murderer.
Cool. That's your perspective.
DB, let me ask you something.
Hold on, let me finish it up. So the landed is just simply, I understand where Ray was coming from, cause like, nigga, we was in the league, we was teammates for 7+ years, and both of us was team captains. So as a team captain, we had a tight relationship, my nigga. So I know you, nigga. This ain't nothing you was about, nigga. So to come, fast forward 9-10 years later, you done playing and now you're on Fox doing this unk shit with do-rags and Black and Miles and Hennessy. Just like, nigga, come on, bro. This ain't you. This ain't your lane. That's all it was, really.
I think it's difficult to tell people one who they are. Like, personal story, my dad never drunk in front of me and my sister because that's not what he wanted to give off. And so I really never seen him ever drink as a kid. Or if he did have a beer, there would be like a beer or two in the garage, right, in the refrigerator. But he didn't. After I got older and got out the house, he'd take a drink or two, right? I can't say, oh shit, you ain't never drunk before and now you didn't change and you ain't the dad that I knew growing up. Like, nigga, that shit is lame. So what? The nigga now drinks. He didn't play football. He doesn't play football anymore. Right? So maybe it could have been for that or other reasons, but you going on this podcast when all the nigga said was, do you think that this would have ever blew up like this? Did you foresee this? And now you rambling about Black and Miles and alcohol and my content. Like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Hey, DB, do
That's some
you think?
hate. You let a nigga talk and they'll talk themselves right into some fuck shit like this. You've been wanting to say this, but
No,
you never had the opportunity
it's other
to come
players
out and
and
say
other
it.
men. I just put another
I was
brother that
just
was in
gonna
the
say,
league
Yeah,
that
yeah.
spoke on this too.
Go ahead,
Um,
Lucky. What's the word?
What's good? Yeah, I know some players that it's both the Sharp brothers that's been capping uh a lot with they anecdotes. So in it's players I know that I've tapped in with, like, yo, this sound goofy. I ain't never heard of this story before. And it was like, me either. I don't know what the hell he talking about. So it's just some authenticity to how they present themselves that a lot of players, calling them out for. And
Calling them out for what?
just a lot of stories they fronting on. And some of the stories throw other players under the rugs. So, That's all I'm gonna say on that. But yeah, it's just to that. So I hear what you're saying, Rashad, with maybe they was, closeted with some of how they was operating, but you don't be closeted and then come out of the closet with who you claim to be. And we know that ain't that we know what you was doing in the closet.
Not drinking is in the closet?
See, I
Nigga,
don't
I'm a
like
grown
this.
ass man, 50 years old.
I
What are
hate
we saying?
I hate this discourse because the league is full of niggas fronting for public image so they could become marketable. So to sit up here and critique a nigga for selling a new public image sounds like a bunch of bullshit to me. Cause all them niggas full of shit. They all do it. They don't be
But
posting all the shit they be doing.
it sets the bar low. It really sets the bar low, and now everybody's trying to get to the lowest common denominator, and now niggas, there's a category of players that how they got to where they got, they stayed true to who they are. I mean, look at somebody like bro from Oakland, the running back that was in
Marshawn
Seattle.
Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, he stayed authentically himself. He still
Exactly.
has character and personality, but he's still authentically himself for better or worse. But that's a comparison where he's distinctly himself, where somebody like a Shannon is playing up this caricature, and he's furthering it by bringing other personalities, other entities, brands, people into his fold doing the same thing. And it's a caricature, and it's bad business. And going back to even what was said about his position on the Colin Kaepernick situation, it was to some degree bad for business. But it benefited him.
Hold on. Two things. Shannon Sharp saying that Colin Kaepernick should express his First Amendment rights based on police brutality and he can see his side is not bad for business. That's ridiculous to say. And
I'm
then
from
two,
Milwaukee, bro. Everything that Colin Kaepernick was doing was bad for business, for himself and for the league.
yeah, I think that you can have your opinion, right? But that doesn't make you a bad person. My thing is, we do this a lot, right? And where we feel like a person isn't towing the line like we think they should, and so they're doing something wrong.
Wake it
And
up.
we see that in relationship, we see that in all walks of life, and where you're not necessarily doing something that I would do, so you're wrong. And it shouldn't be like that. The nigga is not doing anything crazy. I could see if he was promoting something ridiculous, right? Especially on his platforms. But he's not. Nightcap is about sports. He didn't put his mans on. He didn't put Joe Johnson on. He didn't put TJ Husmanzada on. Them niggas ain't even had no motherfucking job. He done looked out for his homies.
Cap, TJ
With
Houshmandzadeh is a coach, and he's a prevalent high school coach before that, bro. You don't know what
yeah,
you're talking about.
that's that prevalent high school coach ain't Nightcap.
Joe Johnson was killing on the three for the
Yeah,
big
let me
three for
put
Three and
years.
three,
let
three
me
and three.
put
Big
this,
three is not Nightcap.
let me
And
put
so
That
this.
hold
nigga,
on, hold
that's
on, hold
still he's
on.
still making a bag.
Hold on. Big Three is not Nightcap. Yes,
Still
he can
making a
make money,
bag.
but Nightcap is one of the biggest platforms right now. Shannon Sharp, things that are attached to Shannon Sharp blows up, right? Those things aren't the same. And then he has Club Shay Shay, and where he is highlighting people's careers and allowing them to get their shit off. A lot of people who have been cold, he is providing platforms. That is it. He ain't up there talking crazy. He ain't doing nothing wrong. He ain't leading niggas down the wrong path. If you don't, if in the irony of Ray Lewis sitting on a podcast, gossiping and hating while talking about Shannon Sharp gossiping, it's like, nigga, you don't have any mirrors in your house? Like
So
you
That
are
nigga,
doing the
that
same
kind of brings
shit
me to my
that
point.
you saying he shouldn't do.
With my last point on this, and it's really more so about the balance, and not so much. It's an over reliance on one type or trope or one caricature, as opposed to it being fair and balanced. And I ain't talking media shit. I'm just talking even with respect for some of his sponsorships. When you see a gambling commercial, they encourage you to gamble responsibly. When you see somebody producing content on a platform, you like to see them be able to give uh, the facts while at the same time being able to give it an entertaining spin. And even with Joe Budden's podcast network, they've navigated their way to a point where there's more of each of each of it, of all of it, right? And so that's just, I think that that's truly what Ray Lewis is getting at with that point, is that there's something missing. There's an aspect of what you're presenting publicly that there's missing a level of authenticity and missing a level of moral and ethics.
Yeah, it's clear that you and Ray didn't watch the Daniel Cormier interview or the other previous interviews when he isn't on that, right? It's very, very clear because that Daniel Cormier interview was two black men having a conversation, reflecting on their past, their present, and where they're going, and the impact that sports had in their life, the impact that family had in their life, and they shooting the shit. There was nothing else
I
to
know
that.
a lot of other players that he could bring on there that probably have more of those same stories that he probably, I don't know, for better or worse, why he won't tap in with them.
They're
I don't
not
have to
there
interview
yet.
everybody in the goddamn
Nigga,
world, nigga.
they
This
not,
my shit.
nigga, they not
Hold on,
Daniel
wait. Let
Cormier.
Pixie
The
go
fuck?
real quick.
What are we talking?
Like, what is we talking? I don't have to interview everybody, nigga. Go ahead, Pixie.
I'm just gonna generalize it because I just want to go ahead and say this. I really don't like the fact, and again, I'm looking at it as very general. I'm not gonna go ahead and get into the deep nitty-gritty of what sports is. Looking at it as a person that looks at Shannon Sharpe, because obviously he's now a media personality, all I see him doing is like kind of like opening like for black people to be able to be openly black and unapologetically black and still be in these higher positions and be celebrated. And especially when the NFL has a huge history of being like racist, like, you know, he's like, nah, man, I'm going to go ahead and present my people and like what they do and their accolades in the best way possible, being unapologetically black. So I don't understand why I don't understand why Ray Lewis would go ahead and do that just because it feels like haterish. It does feel haterish. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, I think.
Could it also be on the flip side that, again, as men and as teammates, and as again captains, for a multitude of years together, and as again he was, Ray said they was close friends, and I probably would assume they were locked in as brothers off the field in addition to on. Once Ray transitioned and he gave his life to Christ, and again even after his playing days, and now he's a major philanthropist, and now he's assistant volleyball coach at the University of Alabama, and he devotes his time to his kids and his charity. I think it's Power 52 as his charity. That, look, nigga, the issue, I'm telling you, the issue is with that unk stereotype or the unk persona of being drunk, drinking, and the black and mild and do-rag shit. And as some people may look at it as like, oh, it's not negative, right? Cool. That's your, I mean, I'm not questioning that. But on the flip side, nigga, that for the 50-some years I knew you, nigga, like this ain't been you. That's all I'm saying Ray could see it as. And in addition to the path that Ray went as far as his Christian beliefs and what he do for his charitable work and how he talked to, you know, mentorship and all that other shit that he do. Like, you know, like, nigga, that wasn't your lane, bro. We never really was. I don't know. Basically, I don't know this new nigga. Like, could that also be a thing y'all ever
No,
thought
it's
about?
not a thing.
I don't think so.
It's not
I
a
don't
thing.
think so
Yeah.
because I don't think so because like first and foremost, even if we went ahead and parted ways, but if at one point I'm calling you my brother, you're my guy, like we were really close, like I'm not gonna go regardless if we're not cool anymore like that, I'm not gonna go ahead and slander your name.
So y'all as human beings have never outgrew a friend. Like, okay, I know I have. Like,
No,
I
but
oh,
Yeah, of
Absolutely.
course,
this is
no.
absolutely, but I'm
Hold on,
not
wait.
gonna
One mic.
sit.
One mic.
Absolutely, but I'm not gonna sit on like a podcast and run down my guy's name. Like even if we walk different like walks of life, it's like, hey, listen, like, oh, Shannon Sharpe, like, what's good with you and him, blah blah blah. And I'm like, listen, like, you know, we may not be as close, we're not close anymore, but respect to him, blah blah blah. Keep it pushing. That's it. Like, why are you gonna go ahead and sit there and slander this man that you at one point were so close to and called your brother and everything like that? just because you changed over your life and maybe this is not how he lives his life, there's plenty of people that do that and they still are like, they either like, yo, I respect how they live their life. Maybe that's not how I want to live my life, but I love them and I care about them and I'm not going to judge them on that.
All right, I'm gonna wake it all the way up. I'm gonna land it here, and I'm gonna let everybody else talk. Could it also be looked at like Ray looking at this nigga like a motherfucking coon to the degree like you doing all this do rag and black and mouse shit on Fox fucking television for these white networks and these white bitches and these
I
white
know you're
people?
not. I know you're not defending Ray Lewis on coonness, nigga.
Yeah, I'm gonna defend Ray Lewis. So
That
I'm
nigga tap
gonna
dancing
defend Ray
master.
Lewis on coon. I don't see no coon acts
That
on what he
nigga
do for
tap
black
dancing
people.
master every day. It's disgusting.
Wow. Okay. I see his work. I see the men that he empowers, and or okay, cool. I don't know what you niggas look at. I don't.
Somebody could
You
say
picking and
that.
choosing.
Hold on,
I
hold on.
hate God.
Somebody could say that Ray Lewis basically telling Colin to shut up and run could be coon shit. Somebody could
Which
say
was
that.
coon shit. What the fuck? That nigga,
Somebody, there's a lot of people who could have that argument. I don't know what you talking about, DB.
Nigga said we was
I'm speaking
teammates in
past. I'm
2000. That
speaking.
was 25 years ago, my nigga. Shit changes. Like,
Fair
what the?
enough. You know, I ain't say less.
Somebody could say that. I think a lot of people would say, hey man, this is a black man who is using his platform to be able to bring awareness to something that is becoming what's already
By wearing a
epidemic
do
when it
rag
comes
and
to
having a
black
black
and
and
brown
mild in your
police
mouth.
relationships. And so Ray Lewis saying shut the fuck up, ignore it, and run nigga run, hey man, that might be coon shit, right? And then also, like I said, we should be able to be friends, and then you understand that we can have a back and forth and we can have an argument and we not agree, and then it not go to this level. You can feel however you feel about me, but once you use this opportunity and where the guy was really trying to big Shannon up. He was really saying, damn, basically Shannon just came out of nowhere and now he's this media mogul. Ray, did you ever foresee this, that Shannon would become this? Why are you using that as an opportunity to say something on my name? That's crazy. Go ahead, Jonay. What's the word? How you feeling today?
I'm good, Rashad. What's going on? Hey to everybody. Happy Sunday. I wanted to hear because I'm not familiar at all with just the behind the scenes. I didn't know anything about this, but as someone who is very familiar with this type of energy, where you can have people that you consider close in proximity, just act alternatively in the public. I completely agree with everybody's stance on him not being a good person to him. And there's a lot of like high and mightiness that comes with certain people that try to disassociate themselves with others that they've had relationships with. And some of that has more to do with them being haters than them thinking that the behavior of their other friend was deplorable. So, before Shannon Sharp, this is just my opinion. Again, some of this stuff may not be founded on like the sports side, but before Shannon Sharp had that situation with that girl, we knew Shannon Sharp couldn't talk good. We knew that he was sipping cognac. We knew that all of these things were a part of his shtick, but we saw it as authentically black. And we also loved the fact that he was able to still be his authentic self and rise up to the top. And now that there is just a little bit of negativity, now there is this, I'm shocked at his content. I don't think that like Shannon Sharp to me doesn't say anything extremely offensive. He doesn't go super in a direction of too many stereotypes. I feel like he has given his platform to a lot of people's voices and put a lot of money into a lot of people's pockets. And to me, if you have that level of friendship with that person, at a certain point in time, it's less about you trying to compare yourself to him and more so about you recognizing that's my friend and I'm going to stand beside him, not kick him while you think it's an opportunity for him to kick him while he's down. To me, I'm saying as someone new, cause I could have sworn Ray Lewis had some sort of like murder charge or something in his past that I don't think he has the squeaky clean history that he gets to say what someone should be shocked about. I do think accountability as friends is a thing, but you also know what it looks like as a black man now in a position where you feel like you are in the moment of saying, okay, shame on you, Shannon. You get what I'm saying? Like, I don't agree with it. So that's just kind of how I took the video. Again, I know what even DB said, like Ray Lewis has given his life back to Christ and all that stuff. But then again, what does that mean when you also are a person that has your share of things that you wouldn't want people bringing up and saying what you should or could have or would have done differently as well? But I also feel like it just becomes a kicking while a nigga down type thing. I think that's exactly when you see who's real and who's not, because I don't think it's a point to do this right now.
One thing I'll say this, and it's funny that this conversation from Ray Lewis is happening following Sterling Sharp's induction into the Hall of Fame. It and
Please explain this point, because I want to hear this.
There have been things that the brothers have said that have basically thrown other brothers under the bus. And I'll just put it simply: when Sterling Sharp said nobody checked in on him when he was injured, that's a lie. And this is part of, I mean, we've always seen this with Shannon Sharp, where he don't push back on motherfuckers calling cap. And he doing it even with his own brother. It's just like, it's bullshit.
We got to find the correlation. I'm still lost. I'm
The
lost.
See,
correlation is
that's
the
some
fact
bullshit.
I'm
What?
lost. Go
you
go
lost.
ahead, Lucky. You got us
You
You
confused
mean,
right
lost,
now.
shit.
if you're part of
I'm
a
lost.
fraternity of players, if you're part of a fraternity of brothers, and you try to play victim by saying your brothers didn't check on you when XYZ
What
happened
this
to you,
got to do with Ray?
it got because Ray's the only person that can check his brother. That, and it kind of goes to what Jonay's saying. It ain't hate. It ain't hate. It's a brother checking a brother. That's
Oh,
it.
I
You
didn't
could
say
have
that's
told
not
that
what I
nigga.
Yeah,
said.
she didn't say that at
I
all.
didn't
I'm not
say
gonna
that.
Okay,
lie.
you ain't
She
say
didn't
that
say
at
that at
all.
all,
Hey,
big
What?
time,
dog.
time out, time out.
I
You
Hey,
didn't
can't
time
say
out.
lie.
that.
Brother Twin Lucky.
This
You ain't
nigga,
said,
Can't
all
lie.
right,
Yo,
listen,
what?
Hold on.
he
Hold
Wait,
on.
spit in
Lucky.
that
you ain't
shot.
said I'm saying it.
Hey, this
It was
thing.
a brother checking the
I
brother.
didn't say
Hold
that.
on. Hold on. Hold on. Tim, what's the word? We got Tim, Mick Gotti, and Scully. How you
What's
feeling,
cracking, my?
Tim?
I'm feeling great, my boy. What's cracking? You know what I'm
Another
saying?
day. Got to get to it.
What's happening? What's happening? Niggas like Ray Lewis is the reason why I can't wait to switch up on you niggas. Listen, I'm switching up on you niggas so hard. I'm gonna act like I don't know you niggas. I ain't never been nowhere with you niggas. I'm gonna be real to you niggas. Okay? Cause this is just nothing but hate. And I hate a hating ass nigga cause you can't explain it. You
Nah,
just hate.
it ain't hate, bro. It ain't hate.
It's
Thank
for
you, sir.
sure hate. What the
Hold
I'm
on.
fuck?
Wait.
trying to
Wait. Wait.
understand
Hold on. Hold
how
on. Hold on.
the
Let him let us
how
play.
the top five fucking.
Hold on. Hold on.
You
Hold on.
know
Hold on.
what?
Let him let us play. We got you. Go ahead, Tim.
Yeah, I just don't like you niggas that, you know what I'm saying, ain't never been in a nigga position. And when a nigga get in position, you want a nigga to still do quote unquote nigga shit. Yes, I put the Black and Miles down. Yes, I stopped drinking cognac and made my own shit. Yes, I'm acting very bourgeoisie because I got bourgeoisie tendencies and aspirations now. I never really wanted to kick it with you niggas. It was just I was a victim of my circumstance. I feel for that. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm sipping like all my water come like, you know, distilled and alkaline and have a little lemon in it. You know what I'm saying? You niggas still gotta drink Dasani.
I just
You
heard
know?
about hydrogen water. I'm trying to get some of that
Hello,
shit.
Yeah, I'm
wait,
trying to get some of
nigga, the
that shit.
ancient. Never mind.
No, I do. I
All
see
right,
the
Johnny,
biologist.
please put the
I see the
periodic table
biologist said
away.
you was drinking
H2O?
hydrogen
He
based
got
Please
he
water.
got
put
that
the
he got that
periodic
he
table away.
Hey man, I
got the
need
cup
some
of
of
that
that.
water.
Yo, I
But John, you
can't
tripping.
deal.
No,
He
I was
talking about
watching
the
Joe Rogan. They had
enhanced.
the top biologists in the country talk about hydrogen
Well,
water. They
They
said
just
it's
for
aligned
your
another
it,
knowledge,
organism.
Rashad. The
just
H
for your
and
knowledge,
H2O
I
Rashad,
is.
know it mean
they,
I know it, but
they
they got an extra boost in that motherfucker.
yeah,
He
they
said niggas
enhanced
Rashad,
memory,
the
put
new
the bottle
vision,
hydrogen
down.
in
all
there.
kind of
I'm
shit.
crying.
Trying to
They
see what the
sell
fuck
y'all
going on.
anything.
It's H3O that you talking about, Rashad.
Yeah,
H
I
three
need
Oh,
O.
that.
3O. Oh,
Where it's
okay.
at?
Yeah, 100.
Hey, go ahead, Big Gotti. Then we got Scully. We got
Yo,
DB.
Shaw, this nigga said the nigga that lost his career in the prime of his life was playing victim. Do you know how fucking nuts you sound, my nigga? Like, dog, if he said, yo, nobody checked on me, he probably didn't mean that literally. But I'm thinking, hey, if I just lost the career I've been working my whole life to build at random because of a concussion or a neck issue, some random ass play, I'm not thinking about everybody else and what the fuck they doing or whether they checking on me. Nah, nigga, I feel alone. Cause all you niggas is on the field playing and I gotta sit back and watch through no fault of my own. So to sit up here and say he's pretending to be a victim is bullshit. And it's a false equivalency to try to compare it to Shannon Sharp's situation. It's not the same, my nigga. Shit.
Preach, Mick. Preach. Go ahead, Scully.
Yeah, okay.
Hold on, Lucky. Hold on. We got the hands. Go ahead, Scully, DB. Then we're going to get back to you. What's the word? How you feeling today, Scully? You all right?
What's going on, people? Where's Ray Lewis been for like the past 4 years? I know son has been on
Coaching,
like
coaching his
Paramount Plus
coaching his
doing.
daughters.
He
That's what
been
he's been
coaching his kids. He been
focused on his
doing
coaching
comment.
duties.
He been doing commentary for the NFL too, though. He
On the
hasn't been
NFL Network
absent
for a
of
minute,
the
Amazon.
limelight. When Shannon Sharp was at his highest levels, when he hit the maximum levels of coonery, wearing a wave cap, smoking a black and
Look at
mild,
that.
on TV with Skip Bayless,
Damn,
Ray,
wearing a wave cap is coonery?
On
Wow.
national fucking TV,
doing his shit with
you
it,
gonna be our
Wow.
doing
crew?
his,
I mean, if you do,
doing his shit,
But
pulling
is
this
it
shit
his
out mid
Hold
show.
on, hold
platform?
on. Let Scully land. I learn new things every day. Wave cap is coonery. Go ahead.
When you doing it,
Well,
when you
let me
doing it
take
for
my
Scully is
life
Skip,
before I
bald,
walk in that
so
anything,
store.
hold
anything
on.
for the white man's gaze
Hold
for
on, wait.
sure,
Let
my
him
nigga.
land. Let
I'm
Scully land.
wearing a
Go ahead, Scully.
two-tone do-rag right now, Tanae.
That is
Please,
nasty.
Oh
please.
no, you just got bad taste, sir. That's
That was
not coonery.
nasty
That's
work, my nigga.
Nah, he put this shit on mid show. He didn't come on the show with it. He put this shit on mid show in front of a white man to talk about the miles and the yak in front of the white man to do some coonery shit. Nobody said shit. They let that nigga cook. So now that he done took the fucking wave cap off, he stopped smoking the black and mild in front of that 80-year-old white man. Now Ray Lewis, I believe if memory serves me correct, Ray Lewis decapitated a man.
That
Just because
outside of
oh,
just
shout
be,
out to
yo,
Ray Lewis. He just became
just
my favorite football player of all time. Wait,
just
what?
just because he found Jesus don't mean he got to be 5 years late and trying to scold Shannon Sharp. There's plenty of other niggas he need to be out here scolding. Why he ain't say shit when fucking Kendrick Perkins do all that cool shit that he be doing? Like Ray Lewis has bigger fish to fry. He don't even get on Jason Whitlock big ass.
why he don't say nothing? Why
Yeah,
he don't
see,
say
that's
nothing? Why he
Those
don't
not
say
the same
nothing when the
professions.
NFL
Number
niggas
one.
be rapping like they don't got millions of dollars talking about drugs and guns? That ain't coonery.
Who
hold on,
rapping?
wait. Let DB land. Go ahead, DB.
Yeah, because I don't know what you need. Like then to bring up basketball niggas like Perk is already niggas scolding Perk in the NBA circle. So that's a separate conversation about Perkins goofy ass. Number two, most men will say that Ray is a top, if not their favorite player defensively linebacker position. And at the linebacker position of all time they ever watched, if not top three. He has nothing to gain financially and or honestly, Shannon Sharp was a lesser of a fucking player than Ray Lewis. Shit, Ray Lewis is still probably the face of the fucking Baltimore Ravens, if we speaking
So you
logically.
saying it is hate DB? That's what you saying?
How is
Sounds
if I'm still if I could go to okay? How is it?
DB,
No,
the
How
no.
careers is
how
over.
am
That
I?
was
Hold on.
2001.
What you
How am I
saying is,
hating on the nigga when I
well,
am Ray
I'm
Lewis, an
I'm finna
all-time
tell
great, a
I'm finna tell
14-time
you.
Pro Bowler,
I,
a two-time Defensive Player of the
I'm
Year
finna tell you.
with
I'm
two
finna
What
tell
Super
is
you.
Bowl
he in
rings?
media,
Hold on,
though?
hold
Hold
on,
on.
hold on. I'm
What is
finna
he
tell
in
you.
media?
No, exactly. I'm finna tell you.
Well,
You all of that.
he was a cast on Amazon Prime for
No,
fucking
hold on.
Thursday Night
and
No, no,
Football
no, no,
still
no.
wasn't
But
before
as
he
good as Shannon, nigga.
transitioned.
What is
no,
we talking
DB,
Before he
what you
Hold on, wait.
saying?
transitioned,
Let Chin go.
I'm
Hold
giving
on,
you
hold
the
on.
answer, Rashad. Before he transitioned into his
Right.
children's life
Uh huh.
and
Uh huh.
coaching at the
Uh huh.
University
Uh
of
huh.
Alabama volleyball, the volleyball team, not football, but he's doing volleyball now
Is that still
because
on
of his
Shannon's level?
family.
and
Is that
to
No, no,
still
no,
on
do
no, no.
Shannon's
Let him
level?
get it. No, I want him to get all of that shit out. I want to get all of that out,
I'm just
please.
saying what he's doing. And
Right, right,
also,
right,
in
right, right.
addition, still going
Mm-hmm.
back to the NFL circles, he was just at training camps speaking to
Mm-hmm.
men about a multitude of
Mm-hmm.
things as far as
All,
life,
all of that shit
decisions,
sound good.
money. Go
Mm-hmm.
ahead.
You go,
But
no,
yeah, I see the
you
good
finished?
work that Ray
You
does.
finished?
Unless people are
Right,
blind and I want to
right.
point it
Good
out.
work, Ray Lewis. Ray Lewis, shut the fuck up. You named all of that motherfucking shit, and that shit still doesn't amount that in media, in sports world, Shannon Sharp is a bigger person.
That's
You name
cap.
all his accolades, right? In
Shannon ain't
media,
on no major
no, no,
network.
no.
Yeah,
Right now he's not.
He won't get
But
another job
but
on no
he's
major
no. But
network. They
listen,
all fired
see,
him.
you
nigga,
talking
Fox,
about
nigga, that's your
you
argument.
talking about
ESPN, Walt Disney
no,
fired
no,
his ass,
DB,
my
DB,
nigga.
DB. This is why
Ray
so
Lewis,
this
if he decided to go back to any
no.
network,
Listen,
he probably could.
And nigga,
this
still
is
Is
why
wouldn't
my
you need to
watch
take
problem.
him. What are you talking about?
Hold on, what
DB,
mic? Let Jen go. Go
DB.
ahead, Jen.
You need to take an argumentative class because you suck. Okay, you're talking about something that happened this year. For the past 5 years, we have been watching nothing but Shannon and Ray Lewis when we can, right? Not even when we can, when we feel like watching that nigga. The reason why is hate, because you said it. Ray Lewis is a better and bigger football player. Shannon Sharp is a better and bigger media personality. So it's hate because you, as Ray Lewis, saying, I'm the one with the accolade. I'm the one that's still a franchise of a team, or a franchise face of a team. Why ain't I as big as him? That's why it's hate. Because you looking at a nigga that you deem as lesser than you, and he's doing something bigger and better than you, and you feel like, why not me? That's hate, nigga.
I don't
The
think he's
epitome
bigger
of
and
it.
better. That's the problem I'm having with the discourse.
Yo,
He's
okay.
arguing with
So
nothing
my
else.
question, and this will be my last point on this: are we cool with Shannon Sharp continuing the same formula after everything that's happened to him this year?
Is it working?
No.
Is it
You
working?
say
No.
that, and that nigga got the most viewed interview on YouTube. You
Yeah,
sound
2 years
fucking
ago.
Well,
retarded.
I have a question though.
Fuck you, nigga.
When
It's
y'all
not
say
working.
it's
It's
not
not working,
working,
Rashad, because he's not on Fox anymore. It's not
And what
working
but
year?
he's not.
because
But
he's
it's
not
not
working for
not
Walt
working.
Hold on.
Disney
Hold
anymore.
on a
DB,
second. But
you
That's
speak
what
out
I'm
of
DB,
both
saying.
it's
It's
sides of
not
your mouth,
working,
DB.
Rashad.
but DB, it's not working. The only reason he's there is because of something he did off his job. So what are
That's
you
his
talking
point.
about? That doesn't mean no, but that has nothing to do with how he's been doing his job. How he's been doing his job is what got him a YouTube, which was what got him on ESPN, which is what got him his show with Ocho. Like him doing him isn't the problem. It is what he was doing in his personal life that created a scandal that then does not bode well to the brand. That's it. I mean, but he's not doing anything in terms of the way that he performed his job.
So
Yeah, DB, you saying that his media isn't working is just it doesn't make sense. Check the
how it
YouTube, check the numbers, check the interviews,
He's
check
very
Nightcap. It
successful.
I
doesn't
bet he
make
got
sense,
more
DB.
views than Ray Lewis.
It doesn't make
No,
sense.
he
His
got more
media
Fuck
views
is
isn't
than
you
Ray
working.
Lewis.
talking about?
He had a lapse in judgment with his personal life and now he's dealing with the consequence. But that doesn't mean that everything he's done does not work and it's all coonery and nigga shit. Like I don't agree with that.
to each their own with this part.
Speaking
Yeah.
No, I think
speaking
some
of
things are just facts.
speaking of public personas, wanted to get to this one. Me and Kenya had a back and forth on the timeline about Jocelyn. I put a video in the jumbo. Jocelyn Hernandez, she was out with her beautiful daughter, Bonnie Bella, and her husband, and they were eating food. Her daughter had a yellowtail, whole fish. Looked pretty good to me, I'm not gonna lie. But Kenya made a comment, and she said that basically Jocelyn is a great mother because how well mannered, how well spoken Bonnie Bella is. I thought that was very, very interesting considering Jocelyn's public persona that we've seen. So I said the grace that you give Jocelyn is interesting. And so she said she left a toxic situation with Stevie J. She's now married. She's created her own show. And I said she's also had a degenerate show because it's surrounded by promoting being a
You're
stripper.
breaking up, Rashad.
Oh, let me hear me better.
You can continue, but you were just
Yeah, you
breaking
was
So
up.
in
I
and
was
out.
saying that there were things like promoting that show, which is promoting stripper, drug allegations, fighting, run-ins with the law that were missed or not spoken about. And we still attribute her to being a good mom to the likes of we don't see that with situations like a DDG or something like that. Do we think that the behavior outside of being in front of your children has an impact on how you raise your children, because there is a lot of grace that is given what Kenya was giving to her, and where I found it interesting. I don't think that if a guy had that type of behavior, he would be considered a great dad. So I just wanted to
I
understand how
mean,
y'all felt about that.
absolutely, Rashad, because she's speaking to the point of look at the child. The child is well mannered. The child is not a reflection of what we see, right? So clearly, there's other things going on in the home. I absolutely believe that 1000%. You naggers only get what the fuck I give y'all on Twitter. You know, my Twitter persona is not me as a mom. Honestly, if y'all seen me as a mom, y'all would think I was probably a Karen. Um, but I think that it's good. Certain people have the ability to, she can be Jocelyn, the Puerto Rican princess, and she also can be Chanelica, the mother, right? To Bonnie Bella. She is a wife. And clearly you don't get kids like that being, a dysfunctional parent. So I think that absolutely you can, I think as a parent, you're a parent, but you also have your, like, just like if you're in a relationship, you also have your individual lifestyle. I don't think that the two intertwines until it comes to a situation where, the parenting has to be questioned, right? I'm trying to think of, an example. Oh, Jesus, I'm only getting terrible ones. I'm trying to find somebody that's alive, because the first thing that popped into my mind, I don't know why, was like Bobby Christina, or Christina Bobby, a Whitney Houston daughter, right? Are certain people, and that's super extreme, but I'm trying to find somebody that, where you kind of look at the, like, okay, we know these people, they were good and the kids are fucked up, so yeah. Oh, well, no, Will Smith, my sister's talking about Will Smith. No, his kids are kind of okay, right? But, well, their relationship is
That
chaotic.
Willow's crazy as a roach.
Huh?
Yeah, well,
Willow crazy as a
Willow, hold
roach.
on, wait, but Willow is a very talented, very, she did her thing. She's got, yeah, the crying, who ate all the pussy is kind of insane. Yeah, those kids are interesting, but, as far as their careers, they're kind of successful. So I don't know. But I think just with Kenya's not here, so I don't know what her exact points, and I'll get off the mic, but if she was speaking to Jocelyn being Jocelyn and the kid being amazing, I don't think we should dig deeper on Jocelyn. I think the
right.
kid is a great explanation for her parenting.
Mhm. Can I say this? And I think again, Rashad has been on this DDG thing for a long time, and I think it's probably time for you to get off
I
it.
just brought it up because that's
No,
the first thing
no,
that came to
and
mind.
the reason why I'm saying that is because DDG needs you on that team, because you fighting battles ain't nobody even saying. Okay,
Somebody give him my number.
now we gon' that's ew.
I'll tell him. He's
No,
personally
no,
shout
no,
me
no,
out.
no. Don't give him anything, Pissy.
Y'all gonna
Rashad needs some shame. We gonna put some shame on this nigga head. But the reason why, but I was gonna say, so Rashad, there's plenty of male counterpart examples. You have her baby daddy. Okay. Number one, Stevie J is her baby daddy of Bonnie Bella. When you watch Love and Hip Hop, Stevie J and the daughter he had with Mimi, they show like the night and day experience of him being an ain't shit nigga and telling bitches to get on the bus, and then him being a father and being very loving and gentle with his daughter. He also has he has several other children and has really, really good relationships with his children. So Scrappy got kids, terrible ass nigga on a show with, you know what I'm saying, with this particular like player lifestyle and doing all these extra things. And then you shoot to how he was with his daughter and how he has such a close relationship with her and how the children are examples of the parenting. Jocelyn is not the first person to kind of have this outlandish persona and then actually be really, really, really great parents because they know how to separate the two. So to me, I completely agree with Kenya's point. Grace for what? She's a testament to resilience. Yeah, I agree. Like Jocelyn, has been on record saying she did have a problem with coke. She was honest about that. She do be on these shows fighting and stuff. She hasn't been in and out of jail. She has had run-ins, but she hasn't been a person outside of like reality TV to be this kind of like reckless person. But if you remember, well, not you, but those that know, if you follow it, from the moment she gave birth, she was extremely intentional about moving out of Atlanta and moving to Miami to give her daughter a better life. So it's like, that's a number one reason why she's out of Atlanta and moved to Miami and ain't moved. And she wanted her daughter to have English and Spanish speaking and put her in school. And then that is why she settled down with Ballistic and she met Ballistic. Ballistic is like a second father to her. Like she created a very stable environment with even extended family that's in Florida. So that way her daughter wouldn't have to be all over the place because of her public life. So I think she absolutely should get praised as for being a good mom. That little girl ain't never looked raggedy, ain't never looked crazy. She seems very smart. Like I don't think there's any slights to her because of what she chooses to do as a profession.
Tim, what's the word?
The word is, Rashad, if you must know, when we came up with the title Double Minded Negroes, they wasn't talking about the men, apparently.
Jesus Christ, I knew you was gonna bring it up. Thank you. Thank you.
It's a lot of double mindedness going on in here today.
Now, where was y'all when Stevie J was doing what he was doing and y'all was saying he was a good dad? I want to know. Hello?
Nobody ever said Steve Jobs was good dad. We call him a sleazeball, please.
Yeah, he is a
Yes.
sleazeball and a good dad.
You
Y'all,
can't
y'all
you can't be
niggas
both.
be the
You
ones
can't be
that say
both.
that y'all could be cheaters and loving husbands.
I
So what you
never
talking
even
I
about?
I
think
never even
public.
seen that nigga with
So
kids
Nobody
I
before.
heard
said
y'all,
that.
y'all
wait,
talk
wait,
Listen,
wait,
about
wait,
y'all
wait,
could
wait.
do two things at once all the time.
To
we be
Jonay's point,
lying.
I think that he's not
Oh,
talking
okay.
about on the show. We're talking about public persona. Nobody looks at
hmm
Stevie J and says, knowing his history, Stevie J's a good dad. And so, as
People
opposed to
do. If you
this
know the
video,
daughter, people do.
I don't think that that's the mass majority.
Well,
There
mass
there are
majority
people
don't
out here
watch
who
a
do.
show like Love and Hip Hop, Rashad.
Well, the mass majority looks at the daughter and say, "Oh, she must have a good mom," because the dad don't even be
Yes,
thought about in mass majority. If
yes,
we keeping it a bean.
Well, remember the daughter to, okay, but that's my point. When y'all look at Stevie J's daughter outside, not this one. Mimi was on a shower pole on a porn. So what is we talking about?
Not a good mother,
Okay, but if you look at
not
the
a good
daughter, you
father.
would not see that. So she has something good. Like these kids ain't raising themselves. So when y'all see the children turn out decently, you can't just say, "Oh well, that no." People can be dual. There's duality. I know y'all want to say double minded,
Yeah,
but there's
double mind. Come on,
duality.
there you go. No, it's double
No,
minded.
it's
No,
not.
it's
There's
double minded.
duality.
No, it's not. It's
We
not. It's not. Your public actions affect your children, no matter how much you try to shield them from it or not. There's no way. Like, do you not know? Like on a regular basis, how many kids get bullied in school because they mama decided to show they pussy to the internet?
mm,
Please.
yes. Because guess what? When Bonnie Bella get to high school, they gonna bring up cocaine. They gonna bring up
Right. It's
stripping.
just
They gonna bring up love and
because
hip
she's
hop.
still in that middle school, elementary school age from what she appears to
But
be.
if they
But
Hold on.
soon as she get to high school, it's up. And now all them sins that you thought, oh yeah, I was sheltering from them, I kept it from, I did my job as a good parent. Your child gonna have to pay for it because they going to school with teenagers that are gonna be adults. So your best way to is don't be double minded. Walk in what you believe in and don't do salacious shit that could come back and haunt your children. How about that?
hmm.
but
Well,
she
let me
wouldn't
go
be the
through
first person to
everybody's
do
page
that.
and make sure they ain't doing nothing salacious that could come back on their children.
Hold on,
Rashad,
well,
10. Let's
Never
make
did it.
sure.
well,
Never did it in my
You ain't
life.
gonna find nothing. Go ahead, go look.
Not gonna
You
find
ain't
it on
gonna
hold
find
on,
mine.
nothing.
Rashad, but still, that's still kind of weak to say because there's so many people that we know grew up in situations where parents was probably on drugs. I know my fave Nicki Minaj, her dad was on crack. Okay, I don't think that
Turned into a
because
pill head. Sound
hold on, wait, let me
tracks to
finish.
me.
Then I
Tracks
know
to
you're
me.
passionate about degrading women
This
and
ain't
shit
degrading.
like
This a
that,
fact. Two plus
but.
two still equal four on this
But
planet. Y'all
hold
know
on,
that, right?
wait, but come on now. It's Sunday. Y'all don't know shit about a testimony. I don't think that them bringing up her past to where she is now and the things that she's built on top of it is just a drag. I think she's well aware that she's Jocelyn Hernandez. She's still on fucking Zeus. The kid is on the show. So I just didn't understand that correlation, but go off.
Go ahead, Pixie. What's the word?
Sorry, I
Pixie
wasn't.
once?
Yeah, I hear
Oh.
you. So my bad. I don't know, man. I really do believe in duality, and I just believe that, like, for example, a lot of people, especially when it comes to celebrities, right? Especially when it comes to female celebrities. A lot of the time, sex sells, and that's what they have to. Even if they're not showing ass or anything like that, they have to sell some kind of exude some kind of sexuality. That doesn't mean that they're not going to be a good mom. That doesn't mean that they're not going to go ahead and do that. I personally feel that scrutiny is going to come in any kind of way, shape, or form. But if the kid shows, there's plenty of times that even if because adults are not perfect people and parents don't go into things being perfect people. It's not like you were a shitty person or like did a lot of mistakes and then boom, you're a parent. All of a sudden, you're this Hail Mary of a person. I think it's something that people grow and continue to grow. And a lot of the time, it's like, you know what, I may be this kind of person, but I'm not going to go ahead and make my daughter do that. I'm not going to make my son do that. They got to do better than me. That's a lot of the time. As a parent, I would hope that your ego is not so big that you want your children to transcend you. I would hope that that's what you would want to do. And that means also in the way that they move, the way that they act, all that kind of stuff. So I feel like there could be two things at the same time. Like, I don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, I think it's very difficult, very, very difficult, to be one way outside the house and be another way inside the house. That's just my own personal view. Uh, it's going to bleed over in some aspect, right? And the things that we do know that are negative isn't based on a show or based on persona or based on character, right? It's who she was, right? She was doing drugs because that's who she was, not because of selling something, right? She was stripping because that's where she was in her life, right? She is on Jocelyn's Cabaret, and that you can say she's playing up a character, but she is also taking it to another level when it comes to fighting and one, just having the show and promoting a degenerate
Hmm.
lifestyle. And so those things, that's a mindset, right? Those are actions that she does have to take accountability for. You saying that you have to sell something, you don't have to.
But that
You really
Do
don't
niggas say
have to
this
sell
about
but
something.
they
Mari? Did they say this about Jerry Springer? Did you niggas was in the uproar when Mari was having the degenerate show for
Good
decades?
point.
Did y'all see
very
her?
good point
What
actually.
what Mari? I was 3. Please.
But what is that?
I
No, you
wasn't
were
no
not
damn 3
310.
years
You really
old.
think you
Mari was
22?
See,
Like you
please.
niggas
gotta
be
relax.
Like
lying.
what you talking
You
about
are
like a
not
young
like
nigga?
Niggas be
Maury. Like
lying.
y'all gotta stop saying stuff that sounds
No,
good.
but this is what I'm
Niggas
saying.
don't
This is what I'm saying.
understand.
Well, hold
Use
on, wait.
perfect
This
examples.
is
Now
why I
y'all
made
niggas
the
saying what,
this is
who?
why I made the differentiation, right? Because Maury is clearly playing up something, right? He's hiring actors to do this
Those aren't
shit.
No,
actors.
And
Those
so
they're
are
when I
real
said, hold on,
people. What are
actors.
you
hold on,
talking
hold
about?
on,
Talking
Those
about
are
listen,
Jerry
not
Springer.
actors.
listen.
He talking
Don't put
about
on that
No,
Jerry.
Maury
He
stupid
talking
cap
playing,
about
for that.
Jerry
listen,
Springer.
all the, oh no,
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 Maury
Maury
did
did
not have
hire
no
actors.
actors.
Jerry had the actors, Rashad. If you want to make the
Oh,
point,
okay.
brother.
Well, it's clear that one, Maury is not a part of the show. And like I said, if you're playing up a character, I can understand. So that's why I said with Jocelyn, if she were playing up a character to get ratings and sell, that is one thing. But the things that we've seen Jocelyn do is not because of a show or not on a show. This is her personal life things that she is getting caught up on. So even if you say, oh, Jocelyn's Cabernet,
But you're
cool,
moving
I
the
don't necessarily
point.
You,
think
You're
you should have
moving the
that
yeah,
type of
you're
show.
goalpost.
moving
But the
the
other things
you
is still
keyword
alright.
was you said was exactly. And in my point I said that people grow past that. People do things. People go ahead and elevate. And especially even if you maybe in some ways are continuing in ways like God's still working on me. I'm obviously still making certain mistakes, but my daughter will not. You know, you can still go ahead and raise a decent human being. A lot of the time even kids will be like, you know what, my mom, like, when she gets older, I'm assuming the girl could be like, you know what, my mom was X, Y, and Z, but I'm not going to do that. And then her mom is probably going to be like, you know what, absolutely, you should definitely not do that because that's not what I want you to do. So, like, you guys, not you guys, I'm sorry. Like, generally, we have to stop going ahead and thinking that the public perception of things is going to dictate every single move that you make internally in your life, within people, within your family, because it's not. It's not, and it shouldn't.
Your public perception comes from what you do in your life.
No, 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 no. Okay, hold on now. So now let's bring this down to something a bit more realistic outside of Jocelyn. Because if that is the concept, then what that would tell me is that every single thing any of us on this stage has tweeted, said on this stage represents themselves in real life. And I doubt it. Rashad, let's just use you for
Absolutely not.
example. The way that you
Oh,
say quality,
it represents me.
BBL, this,
I ain't gonna hold you.
okay,
Everything
so
I tweet,
10,
He
there's
threw a
there's
party
no
for
way
Diddy when
that,
he
no,
got
it
out.
don't, because so, okay, so we'll get to you in a second, 10.
pull
So
up a tweet.
Rashad,
Pull up a tweet. Watch how I stand by it.
no, no,
100%.
no. We don't got to pull between. We could go off how you act in here. So we'll go to Rashad, right? So Rashad, you talk about the quality BBLs and all those other extra things. I guarantee
Celebrated
you,
Diddy coming
you're
home.
celebrating Diddy and you have a daughter. So there is a certain level of that might be your concept, but you don't view your baby like that. You also have said that when it comes to your child, you have the fingertip rule where you want to make sure that she's looking a certain type of way, because just because you view women in the world one way don't mean that that's how you function as a parent. 10, I guarantee you, you better bitches, 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 as you going around calling the women in your life
Pack him
bitches.
up.
I don't think so.
I be
Like you're not,
saying this in front of
there's,
my mom.
not,
My
did I say,
mom,
but I didn't say that you say stuff in front of your mom. I said, do you call the women in your life bitches?
yes,
You call your mother a bitch?
yes. Sometimes.
Okay, and there's a
I,
problem with you then. I
No,
don't know
it's
what to
a
tell
not.
you.
serious problem.
Hey, hold on, wait. I don't get the correlation between me liking a certain body type and how
No,
that
what I'm
reflects
saying
on
is
my.
that cause your point was everything that you represent, everything you say publicly equals to what you do in real life. And what I'm saying is that is not the case. Everything that you represent is not necessarily, it can be an exaggerated thing, which is why like, and honestly, I don't even really care what 10's saying, cause I know for a fact, ain't no nigga from the South calling his mom no bitch. I'm going to
Yeah,
literally
that's
not even
different.
listen
That's
to him.
because you don't know
So what
my
I'm saying
mother.
is,
My mother ain't one of them
but
South
what I'm saying is
assholes.
we're not going to do that because
Like it's a
nobody is
thing
doing
though.
certain things. So that's what I'm saying. There could be exaggerations of strong points, but it's the same. Like it seems like they're different, but to me, it's all the same. It could be an exaggerated expression of something, which is fine. This is an exaggerated expression of a strong opinion or a way of life, but it doesn't mean that's who you are as a whole person, because then that means that I'm a Christian, and because I'm a Christian, I can't cuss, I can't drink, I can't smoke, cause it's like there's zero
Or show
duality.
my ass.
Oh, well. Wait a
Well,
minute.
no, you can't
Well,
be.
I don't
Well,
wait,
no,
hold
that's
up,
not how
Ray,
that.
hold up.
Well, listen,
No,
that's
no,
what
no,
Ray
no. Hold on,
Lewis
hold on,
told
hold on.
10 to
Nah,
try.
that's
Rashad,
what
Rashad,
somebody
what's
tried
up?
to tell me. I
Rashad, hold on,
digress.
Rashad. Now,
Hold up,
Janae,
wait a
no,
I
minute.
no,
digress.
Janae, I thought it was duality.
Wait,
No, I
hold
thought
up,
she could do it.
wait.
No, she could. See what I'm
Nope,
saying?
that's up
See what
there
I'm saying?
too.
And y'all got to
And
stop.
if
Y'all got to stop.
anything,
Y'all got to
No,
stop
but you
thinking.
know what I'm saying is the
No, no,
truth
no, no.
now.
Y'all
Stop it.
gotta stop thinking just because you ain't seen somebody live the life that they speaking on that you don't think it exists. Niggas do actually tweet what they believe and stand by 100% all the time. Just because y'all like duality don't mean there aren't people out here who
But
don't.
no, but there are people that are dual, and you're one of them, 10. Like, so I get
I'm
it.
not
I
that
understand that
dual.
you, I,
I'm not dual at all.
but
you
Don't think
are,
that.
you are.
Don't
but
think
we
that.
used
Don't think
to
I'm dual.
judge the
Do not
kids
think that.
as a reflection as the parent. So I don't understand why that just can't be that. Yeah, we see
Yeah.
Because
Jocelyn
I
being
think
who
that
she is, but
Jocelyn.
we see the kids and it's like, oh damn, she must be an amazing parent because still the kid is amazing. Like
Yeah,
Literally.
I think that Jocelyn
so
is
give some grace,
she
Rashad.
is a woman of means. Hold on, she is a woman of means, right? So that's one. And so the looking good, obviously, I don't think that she's a bad mother or terrible mother. That wasn't the purpose of this. The purpose was to explore, in my opinion, the double standard and the duality, right? I think she is a woman of means, and where her child does look good, she is well spoken and is well mannered. But there is an aspect of Jocelyn is still out here doing these things. Like Bray said, she still is on Zeus. right? And acting how she's acting, right? And so to Pixie's point of maybe she might have grown, no, she's still in that
No,
shit.
she's see, you don't subscribe to the show. I don't necessarily subscribe, but I do follow her, so I do keep up with the clips. She has gotten a lot better. It's more production wise. She let them other girls handle her shit. But she has gotten better, Rashad. So I think that's probably the context that you're the disconnect.
But even still promoting a show
Listen,
about
if
stripping
y'all
and having
gonna
a daughter.
mention like living your life right in some form of, I don't think anybody said Christianity, but it sounded like y'all leaning towards the spirituality role, right? That means you also redemption. You believe in redemption, and you also believe that people have room to grow. So you can't not be for that. And then with
Exactly.
Tay, you think it's one way, but it's the other. So if you're for that, you can't
Shout out
speak
to Red.
against what Jocelyn is saying. And that's my message for Sunday.
Yeah, I don't, like I said, I think that that is a very good message to preach when you have removed yourself from these things. When you have not removed yourself, but still speaking on redemption, then it becomes double minded and it becomes trying to escape
But
accountability,
that's not
right? Because you are
No,
true.
still in
That's
that
not
space.
you're
true.
trying to preach perfection, and we know that that
Yeah,
doesn't
No,
perfection
exist.
is
no,
not
no,
the
I'm
same
not.
thing.
I
So
don't think, hold
Rashad,
on.
come
I
on
don't
now.
think from not
If we look
promoting,
into
not
your life,
promoting, no, 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 no. I'm saying not promoting stripper culture and degenerate behavior doesn't equal perfection.
yeah, but that's degenerate to you. That's subjective to you. It's some people who grow up with a sense of they growing up on baddies. I'm seeing some people growing up on sexy red. I'm not saying that I would do that, right? But I've learned that it's not necessarily what's wrong and what's right. It's what you were taught what's wrong and what's right, and that's subjective to you. Just like when we were
I
having
never
the
met a
hold on,
happy
wait.
stripper.
Just like how we were having the Republican and the Democrat debate, and in regards to that man being at school, and it's something as simple as him feeling, having right wing views that people feel like, okay, we got to shut him up because he can mutate at school. So I think this is like similar on the lines of that. You can't just say that it's degenerate culture, because Jocelyn isn't necessarily black. She's Hispanic. So I don't know if y'all ever scroll
Yeah,
past
What
that's
does
Telemundo,
a
that
but
have
low
to
the
do
bar,
with
shows
this?
on
but
there
What
is
does
too much productive.
her race have to do with
hold on, wait.
degenerate
I think that that's
culture?
a low bar.
What the fuck?
To say that stripping is not degenerate, then
No,
nothing
I'm
must be
saying
degenerate
to
then.
to
If
what
stripping is
to
not.
who culture though. You're speaking as a black man, like Jocelyn is interfering with your culture.
No, I'm not. No, I'm one. There is a culture, but even outside of black culture, stripping
Okay.
is
Well,
degenerate because if not,
but can I
then
say
nothing
something too
is.
though? But this is the thing that I feel like. All right.
Y'all trying
So
to spin
so
me.
if y'all want to have a real conversation, it gets real, and then y'all want to start hollering and screaming. My point is this: when you talk degenerative culture, right? We know what degenerative behavior is, right? We get it. But
Apparently
why?
not. Apparently not.
Well, let me finish.
Come on,
Let me
Tanny,
finish.
nigga,
Let
please.
me finish.
Hold on, wait. Let her finish. Then we
When
got
you're
fresh.
talking about it, why are we thinking, especially as, okay, because I could have sworn I see several believers in here. You don't think that there is a level of degeneracy to the things that you are also not doing, and you're thinking that what
Yeah,
you
niggas
just
say
get
the
a
space is
pass?
degenerate.
Like, I don't understand. There is 1000% degeneracy to stripping, right? But then there's also degeneracy to how men are speaking to women, how women are speaking to men,
How they present themselves on
how
social
y'all push
media.
up single behavior, how y'all are like, what are we talking about? How the street culture, hood nigga shit,
Low ankle
all of
socks.
this shit that y'all ascribe to hatred. Like, there's a whole bunch of degeneracy that we're talking about that I feel like if we're gonna go there, I just don't believe that any levels of degeneracy in someone's behavior equates to them not being a fit parent. That's the point of the conversation. Because
Exactly,
there's plenty of
Shawnee.
degeneracy that I see on this stage. I'm just saying that.
Okay,
And
no, so no,
That
I
was
don't, and
not
I
even the
don't
no,
think
point.
that means that every man
no,
and every
no, no,
woman is
no,
not
no,
a
no,
good
no, no.
parent.
No,
We
no,
Simple.
no, no, no,
cannot
no, 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 no.
nitpick.
Real quick. No, no,
Hold on,
real
wait.
quick.
Go ahead, Tim.
No level of degeneracy can infer that a person is not a good parent, right? crackheads, right?
That's
They
not
have
what I
babies.
said.
That's what you just said.
I didn't say
You did
no
say that.
level.
All
No,
right,
no,
You
no, no,
did
no,
all
say
no,
right,
no,
that.
no, no, no.
all right.
No, y'all
I
niggas
said
trying to
I
spin that.
have
Y'all heard
seen no.
exactly what the
Now
fuck she
let me
said.
say it again so that way y'all can use what I said specifically.
No,
I
I don't
said
need the remix.
I have
You got it.
seen
You
different
don't. No, no, no,
levels
no, no,
of
no.
degeneracy on this stage, and
No, no,
that
no.
does not equate to y'all not being good parents. I didn't say
We
no
ain't
level of
talking about
I
us.
didn't say no level.
You did say
Don't
that.
worry about it,
We gonna bring
But
the topic
don't
Rashad,
worry
back.
about
don't
it,
get hung
cause
up
We gonna
on
bring the
cause
one
topic
this is the
back.
word.
thing,
Y'all
y'all.
heard
I've
what she
already
But
told
said.
you, and
she
I'm gonna
did
have to tell you,
clarify.
and now 10, you
She
cannot.
did
No, that's what I
clarify.
said. Cause I'm talking about
But
y'all
that
niggas.
Okay, the
still that
timestamp's gonna
one
So what are
come.
you
word
talking
The
doesn't
about?
defeat
timestamp's gonna come.
everything that she said. Come on now. Let's not
It's
be
one.
let's
No, no,
not
The
no. The
timestamp's
timestamps are
gonna
gonna
come.
come, and
Let's
what I'm also gonna
hold on.
do is
Wait.
pull up receipts for the both of you, since y'all want to act like there's only one level of degeneracy.
That
yeah,
we
because
not saying
Rashad, it's
that.
a bunch of
Okay, so
shit
that's
you
my
We
done
point.
said
Yeah,
that
we not
make
that's
him
saying
seem
that.
like an
Y'all
unfit
saying that.
nigga.
Then well, let's make sure ain't neither you are degenerate,
hold on.
because both of y'all are parents.
Go ahead. Go
Oh
ahead,
please.
Fresh.
Yeah,
To
so I
hear
was
this from
listening
people that
to.
got their ass in they fucking Abby talk about
Hey,
degeneracy.
Hold on,
Please.
wait, 10, hold on, wait. Before you
Please.
go, let me address that, right?
Please.
So, 10,
Please. Nothing you can say
listen,
can
go
make it
through my
okay.
media and
Nothing.
find another pic.
It
Okay?
don't
I can
matter.
do
Hold
whatever the
on.
fuck I want to do on my page, sir. And when I decide to change it, I can. I'm getting the niggas without posting my ass. How many
It,
times have you seen my
it,
ass and you've been
it,
on here?
it
Let's
doesn't
not,
matter. I don't
nigga.
follow you,
I'm
ma'am.
doing
I
it
will never
because
see
I
it.
can, nigga. Don't
That
come for
doesn't
me
mean
and what the fuck I
anything. Your
decide to do with
excuses
my
doesn't
body.
mean
You
nothing.
wear low
It's,
ankle socks, nigga.
it's
You wear
still
no show
degenerate.
socks. As a grown ass man, nigga.
Right.
Don't say
He
shit.
said, "Listen, this ain't the Bray and Ted back and forth. We gonna get to stay to the topic. Go
Nigga.
ahead, Fresh.
uh,
Double mute. Jesus, fist in the
Now the next
air.
one, Bray, turn
My
your
bad,
ass
Fresh.
a
It's
little
it's
bit
been a
to the
long
left, a
time.
little bit more.
Prashad, just one thing real quick. If you didn't think it wasn't degenerate, you wouldn't have to defend it so hard. But
No,
you know,
nigga,
hey,
no,
I'm
I'm
just saying.
defending
I'm just saying,
you
Rashad.
even
I'm
mentioning
just
it.
saying.
You
I'm just
mentioning
saying,
it
Rashad.
like it's a,
Okay, we got it. We got it. We got it. I promise.
you
We got
mentioning it
it.
like it's
I
a
promise
drag.
we did. I think we got it. Go ahead, Fresh.
Hey, y'all blowing my high, man.
Go ahead, Fresh. What's the word? Long ass mute. Never seen nothing like it. Hey, Zoo. That's for my Spanish
Who
boy,
speaking
they
the
hit
hell
friends.
me,
is
Direct to the
Jesus?
triple
boy,
mute.
I'm bilingual.
boy, they
Who the
hit me
hell is
with the,
that?
I'm bilingual. Hey,
they
Jesus,
hit,
man. Listen, bilingual. You
they hit
hating.
me with the ultimate, mute, but shout out to y'all, man. So Rashad, I was just listening to you speak on it. And then obviously I've heard everybody's response and I read some of the things in the Jumbotron. So what I'll say to it, so I heard what Janae offered, and I know that me and Janae are of the same faith, and I hope everybody else can go on to share the same faith. But there's a few things that I understood the sentiment of what she was saying, and I can understand what she was saying, but I think it was married to something that she wasn't saying, and I want to make sure, and it's just my perspective on it, and I want to make sure to, I guess, speak to that. Because, yes, everybody sins, everybody does wrong, right? But there is inherent or intentional, a sin, and within sin, right? And then there's degeneracy, right? And that's typically, due to the degeneration of morals, right? So when we're talking about things like stripping, there was never a time when stripping or prostitution or whatever is considered like upward or moral behavior. And so one cannot still be doing that and be saying, well, I'm going to be redeemed because if you have no intention to stop the behavior or to change, right? That's why it says be ye transformed. If we're going there, then it's like, it's hollow. Like whatever you're saying is hollow. It's lukewarm. And you know what it says about being lukewarm, right? The Lord says, I will vomit you out of my mouth. You cannot choose the world and choose this. I tell people all the time, I am not sinless. I just sin less. Like I actively try not to sin. I actively try to not do things. Y'all have never heard me get up here and glorify the streets. Y'all ain't never heard me get up here and glorify any type of degeneracy. And I'm not perfect. I'm far from it. I'm probably worse than some of the people y'all think are bad. You know what I mean? I have to check myself every single day at the door and make sure I'm doing those things. So that way I can have that expectation when I'm talking to somebody like, hey, maybe you shouldn't do this or do that. So to what Rashad was saying, I will say this, and I see it every day in the school system. I will say, I'm not going to say she's inherently a bad mother. meaning what she's intending to do, but the example is not great. And then continuing this behavior, and her daughter's going to grow up in the world and see these things. It comes off as do what I say and not what I do. And we know that that's very hard to follow, right? Like if somebody's not
Hmm.
actively living what they're saying, it's very hard to follow that. That's like the pastor being in the strip club and saying, and coming in there trying to preach the word. You know what I mean? Or pastor doing that. And those are poor pit pimps that do that. And we know that that is a great sin. That's probably the biggest sin. So in line with what Rashad was saying, I understood what he was saying, and I understood what you said, Janae, but I just think there's a fine line between that because some of what she does, and purports, especially everything on Zeus Network, is absolute degeneracy.
I
Like, I
agree.
wish they would shut it down. Okay.
No, I
But
agree with
I just
that.
wanted to go there with it. So cause we agree when it comes to the
Hmm.
word and it comes to the spirit.
No,
So
I appreciate you saying that, Fresh, and I'm glad you gave your perspective because that is the sentiment of what I'm saying. I think, but what happens too often is because, and again, I know this ain't everybody's not necessarily ascribing to this, but I do, and like I said, I hope more people do. But my thing is this: we know what is the degeneracy, right? And we also know people's religious and or faith based walks will sometimes their behavior don't catch up to what's going on the inside. Sometimes. And what I'm saying is that is exemplified in many different ways. You get what I'm saying? But to your point first, there's just certain things that just are what they are and we don't have to make excuses for them. But I also think to believe that you're throwing away the entire person because of something that they may be trying to get out of. Maybe it is something that they're struggling with and maybe they're just used to it and they are in prayer time or in their time alone saying, I want to get out of this and I'm creating a plan to get out of this life. And it just don't seem like it to us, but there is an inner work happening. And to me, when you start to see someone like that getting off drugs, doing these other things, not showing up in clubs, not doing, she might still be a part of that lifestyle. You get what I'm saying? But you're starting to see the areas of change. I'm just saying that it's not always the answer that, okay, this person is a terrible blank because they are still having signs of degeneracy in their life. And sometimes people just, like you said, if you're unteachable, you don't want to change, that shows up in other ways too. So I agree with you, Fresh, and I appreciate your perspective on that.
Speaking of degeneracy, respectability, politics, wrapped into tennis. Taylor Townsend. I didn't know who this young woman was
What?
until this week. But Taylor Townsend looks like an exceptional tennis player, unapologetically black, kicking ass and taking names. What happened was she faced a woman. Her last name is Ostapenko. I can't pronounce her first name, even though it seems pretty easy. She is from Latvia. She got her ass whooped by the Black Queen. Fist in the air for the Black Queen whooping ass. In the second round of the U.S. Open, sports heads know that the U.S. Open is a
Did he cut out of me?
He
No, I
cut
think
No,
he
out.
he
cut out.
definitely cut out for shit though.
Her name is Jelena, by the way, for everybody in the list.
Rashad, brother, you definitely cut out, brother. I hope you can hear us. You cut out.
He got a long phone call. Had to be
I
the
know.
wife.
It's in the air for
I,
Rashad.
I know when a nigga getting cussed out for real.
Had to be the wife.
I told you to take that chicken out of. Listen,
Don't do it like that where he taking chicken out the freezer. Come on, Fresh. Man, Fresh.
The deep
you know,
Come on,
freezer. He had to
you
go to
try,
the basement.
I
Get
done
the deep
forgot. Hey,
freezer.
listen,
You go on your little spaces and you ain't take out the.
and kick me out the goddamn space.
all right, bro. Shout out to
Oh,
you,
it
bro.
went blank on you.
No, this
Listen,
bro kicked me out the space.
listen,
I don't
Rashad,
know what y'all heard, but
the narrative that was gonna get started. Boy, you lucky. You came in
You
here
was you
saying
was
some
you was
fuck
supposed
shit.
to take the chicken out. That's where we was at.
You was supposed to go to the basement to the deep freezer to get that damn chicken.
hey, you know how many
And
times I
then
didn't do
instead you
that?
on spaces.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That was the narrative that was started.
Jesus. But yeah,
Her name's
yeah,
Jelena,
so
by the way.
she Ostapico said she had no class. She said that she was uneducated. She said that I bet you can't beat me outside the US, which I thought was a threat. Listen, that's how I took it. And after the fact, she eventually apologized. She said that English isn't her first language. And so when she said no education, she meant no tennis etiquette. I call bullshit because you still said I ain't had no class, ho. So listen, and you still said see me outside US. So I call bullshit. I wanted to know if y'all seen it, how y'all feel about it. Because to me, listen, they said that Taylor was playing the race card. I'm playing the race card too. I'm not gonna lie. I felt that there were racial undertones to this situation. And then also, once again, like we talked about Shannon Sharp, what does it mean to be unapologetically black, right? What does it mean for respectability politics when it comes to us just being us? Should we have to toe the line, right? Should we have to, take our win silently like what is expected, especially in these quote unquote white professions like tennis, like a golf? Can we be ourselves? So let's start with 10, Jonay, Fresh, then Pixie. What's the word?
This is what I call a based black woman. I wish more black women would be based like this. And when you when you get disrespected, not only do you speak up for yourself, but you do it with so much poise and grace, and still let it be known what the fuck is on your mind, but also securing yourself and being secure. I love this type of shit. I ain't gonna hold you. I fuck with it to the T. I've been watching her career for like a year now, and hey, listen, this the token black girl we got right here. I fuck with her. I ain't gonna hold
Yeah, they had an edit. I forgot what song was on that edit, but it was a song that was lit, and she was dancing and doing her jig on the court and just standing in blackness and standing in who she is. And I was like, yeah, she lit. I'm following her now. I ain't gonna hold you. Go ahead, Jonay.
Yeah. So just in case anyone wasn't aware of what that wide-shouldered white woman said, she was saying, like the normal, you're uneducated, you have no class, all of those microaggressions that black women deal with these white hoes every day. I love it. I agree. Based 10, I've never even heard of that. Based is the thing that, what does that mean? When you say that, cause she's composed. I just want to know what that, cause I might have to use that move as well. But I love when you can really read a bitch without getting too out of pocket. And that's what she did. She played the nice, nasty game better than that white lady, got on that, press conference and kept it a buck. Like, yeah, she thought she was going to get under my skin, and she tried to do so by using some of like the common things that people use against people that look like me, which is the things that she thought would get a reaction. Yeah, but I don't even think it's necessarily even, her being slammed. I hope no one is pushing back on how she handled herself, because she did it exactly how she should have. That woman could have got hit, but she didn't. So I absolutely commend her for not even necessarily controlling herself, but some people just don't deserve the reaction. You know what I mean? It's not even about white, black, or whatever. It's just this time, this place, these people don't deserve you in that way. You don't deserve my emotion. And so let me be, controlled, because you thought you had one and you don't have it. You wanted me to be you, and you also lost, bitch. So it's like, you're also a loser acting like this, girl. Be about your way. Like, you don't deserve. And I really do, I am a woman that is trying my best to lean into this more and more and more, because I know I could yap and pop off. But it does feel much better when you can handle a tense situation with more control. So I commend her for what she did.
Go ahead, Fresh, and then we got Pixie.
Yeah, quickly. Shout out to her, man. Shout out to Townsend. Shout out to Sloane Stevens. Shout out to Coco Golf. All of them have kind of gone through similar situations. I know Coco went through one similar like this. We know Serena went through this her whole career. And Venus. When they did anything, right? First it was their body type, how they talked, and how they celebrated. Can't do anything. But then, we know that the Mayo folk can break the rules. They can sit down and rest when you're not supposed to. Then when they lose, it's always excuses. Oh, I'm coming off injury. Like, we've seen this across. And I love how she handled it, because, like what Janae said and like what Tin said, right? She was able to assert herself respectfully without compromising herself. She was able to, right? I got this from a sister in the school, so I can't claim this, right? She said, you can see and read them where they're at without meeting them where they're at. And that's what she did, right? She did not stoop. She didn't yell. She didn't do any of the things or purport any of the stereotypes that girl was trying to coax up out of her, right? Like she wanted her to turn up so they could, look, she has no class, see? And she was like, no, I'm gonna still let you know you lost. I do have class. I'm not worried about what you're saying. And then she went to the news, press conference and said the same thing. Like, hey, I'm not going to say whether it's racially charged or not. You guys hear it and can see it for yourselves. But she said some things to me that are not true. I represented myself with class and grace. I went and saw her, tried to shake her hand after she lost. She didn't want to shake my hand. And then of course, I saw on the news, one of her white counterparts tried to defend her. She was just mad. Oh, so then white women can act out when they're mad and do whatever, things of that nature. But you can put that angry black woman onto our sisters. It's like, so it's just always a moving goalpost. So I loved how the sister handled it, and I wish more people would handle it like that. Unless somebody puts their hands on you, then of course, like the great Malcolm said, you act accordingly. But you can do things and assert yourself absolutely with respect and grace without stooping to where they are, because these people lack intelligence, they lack couth, they lack understanding.
Go ahead, DB.
Yeah, I commend Taylor for what she did.
Oh shit, my bad, Pixie.
Oh, go pick.
My bad. Go ahead, Pixie. Your hand went up.
Oh, it didn't show. Okay. So I want everybody to kind of like also just keep in mind how racist the US Open can feel and is. It's like if y'all think like box tickets for the NFL is expensive, look up some US Open tickets, like just standard US Open tickets, to the point that they have to go ahead and do like little freebies to let people kind of like more other people come in, so it doesn't look like it's just a white cast of fucking people across the crowd. So
At
it's
Arthur Ashe
incredible.
Stadium, that U.S. Open,
Yes, yes,
you can
yes.
get tickets for $70, baby. At
No,
the
no, 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 no. It is. It
Okay,
depends.
I'm wrong. Okay.
No, I'm just saying. I'm like, it's incredibly. It's like one of those highty-toity kind of craps. That being said, also, I feel like just tennis is like overall that kind of sport that black women consistently go ahead and get pressed on that. I feel like if she conducted herself even in an ounce differently from that, it would have been it would have been worse. It would have been totally worse. And at least here, she was able to conduct herself like the way she conducted herself. And but this is where I'm proud of her in that sense, but it also kind of upsets me because it's like Serena, we've seen many of times Serena was looked at as angry for the way that she would react, or just like in general, any of them like just showing any kind of emotion of like frustration or tears, like, at that point. And then it's like, it just kind of upsets me that black women have to kind of mitigate their emotions in a very emotional sport and in a very emotional time where a lot of the time there's records being broken and things like that. So I'm proud of her, but I just really, tennis frustrates me for that reason.
So y'all not taking to any credence that English is a second language and she didn't mean
That's cap.
what she
I
said.
was.
Hell
Let me
no,
get to
not
that.
at all.
Let me get to that. You done picks my fault.
Yeah, you good.
And you're right. The beginning rounds, if you're going for the opening rounds and shit, you can get something for cheap. But as they go into the third, fourth, and fifth round, that's when that shit get up there in the thousands. Secondly, the English shit bullshit. This is Lil Wayne's favorite. One of his. I won't say, but he be gassing this bitch up. Jelena. This is how I heard about her last year. Lil Wayne. That English is her second language shit is cap. Cause you wouldn't be, taking pictures and Wayne is just, stamping you if you probably go on Wayne Instagram or I don't know where he posts that, but I'm pretty sure Wayne talking about Shorty. I done seen him talking about it on ESPN or whatever. But yeah, I think that's a bunch of bullshit with that English shit. And I just commend Taylor for handling it with class and grace. Ultimately, at the end of the day.
Yeah, because Rashad, I give no credence to that specifically because she knew to say you have no class. She knew to say you couldn't beat me outside the U.S. Like they always have a way out. Oh, I was mad. I was coming off injury. I was this. No, you tried to backpedal, and somebody said it in the comments. Tried to backpedal because you was gonna get called out. On news if you didn't, and you didn't use it as some type of language barrier or something like that because you might get dropped from some of them endorsements. That's really what it was. Like they always try to save face after the fact. I really wish they would just stand on it. Just say, man, hey, I was mad. I said what I said. Because we see the same thing happening with Archie Manning and then Shadeur Sanders or the whole Sanders family, right? You know, we see that happening right there too, with how they report on him and
Hey,
he's,
you putting the cart before the horse,
oh,
Fresh.
my bad, brother. I was trying to connect it to us in how it is in sports. I ain't gonna do too much, but nah, brother, ain't no excuse because she knew how to say all them other words, but now all of a sudden when it's time to take accountability, now it's a language barrier. Nah, it's a mental barrier. That's all it is.
Yeah, I see that, and a lot of folks brought up Serena, Coco Golf.
Yeah, Venus went
Sports
through a lot of
sports
shit.
is very like the people who haven't who didn't play sports. I don't necessarily know if they would get it, but in the moment of achieving and beating somebody, right? It's something like you can't describe, right? You're in there, everybody's watching you. This is very important. You've trained for this. You've had thousands of hours for this one moment, and all of that shit pays off. There's going to be energy. There's going to be excitement. Like I said, this is a major tournament in tennis, in where I don't necessarily get why these stereotypes towards our women are like this, because we see white women do the same thing. And it wasn't just like you lost, right? Because I'm a sore loser. I'm not gonna lie. Nigga beat me. I'm gonna be mad as hell. I don't want to shake your hand. None of that shit. But it doesn't turn into these racial stereotypes and these tropes, and where I think that it should have been a bigger story. Because at the end of the day, you know what the fuck you talking about, and you know what you're doing. And there should be some repercussions to this, because we can't keep going around acting like we don't see it. All she did was win a tennis match, and she shouldn't be subjected to this bullshit and then have an out. Oh, well, I don't speak English. Like, oh, yes, you do. Stop it. And I think a lot of times, even when we talked about the Robin Westman situation, and where he shot up the school. Obviously, they're two different things, but what I'm speaking towards is when white folks do stuff, whether you're a white American, white European, there is always a level of reasoning and playing dumb and not understanding, or I was hurt, like Fresh said, or mental health. It was like, nah, ho, you just said this shit and stand on your shit. I would respect that even more if you said, yeah, I said it, right? But now we have to figure out, all these reasons on why she's just being nasty and racist to this young woman that kicked her ass.
She cool
And
with
I don't
one
like
of the
that.
biggest black artists in America.
Huh?
She cool with one of the biggest black artists in America.
Yeah, I don't necessarily understand that point, but if that's your point, then
I'm just saying,
then you
no. I'm
got it.
saying like she might have in her head like, damn, I might get a pass, for saying some, whatever she said, given she from Latvia, and I don't know. That's it's that language that language barrier shit is a cop out. Fuck out of here.
Yeah, Wayne is not the barometer on race relations or any type of educated stance when it comes to that either, though. Like he's on the wrong side of history on a lot of things, so we'll just also keep that in mind. So that's not something I would think or anything to with him.
Don't hype DB up. He gonna start talking about Wayne Money.
Shout out to the money, man. I hear you.
What the fuck?
This
I ain't say nothing
this
about
nigga
her.
is crazy. We got AK-47. What's the word? How you feeling?
Hello, 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 good people. I am list. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hello, good people. So I'm listening to you all, and the way that white lady, I don't know, she's some sort of European. I have European and people around me and I was married to one too. Not a European, but people who speak a foreign person, or people who speak another language. They're DB, he black. Um, the people who speak another foreign language, I feel like they use that as their excuse to say, oh, this is a language barrier here or a language barrier there. I don't excuse. I agree with you, Rashad. I would respect her more if she stood on what she said. Like, yeah, I said that shit, and because I have Swiss friends, I have other friends, like international friends. Yeah, communication could be a language barrier, but she knew in that very moment that she was sending that energy towards her because she got her ass beat. And I don't like when they try to play victim and act like, oh no, I didn't understand, or try to become discombobulated about the whole situation. I don't agree with it. She like you said, you're a sore loser. She was a sore loser. I probably not gonna want to shake your hand after you beat me either. So like, yeah, I'm gonna stand on what I said, but she was wrong.
I got a question. How
Yes.
does a European person who claims that English isn't their second language, how
Uh,
do they even understand these things about black people, black Americans in general, and where that comes to your mind? Like, how do they even get to that space of saying that about us? Like, especially with no experience
I
in like, I don't get it.
it comfortability, proximity to comfortability makes them feel like, oh, social media. It makes them feel like they are like they're in it, like they're comfortable saying these things. Like, honestly believe it's some people that they come across, and they don't have what, I find that they're not scared to say or do this. Sometimes we as black people or other cultures may be afraid to, we have situational awareness, emotional awareness, not all, but most, I like to say, most of the people I'm around are emotionally intelligent, and we are aware of our actions and how they affect other people. When they come here, they don't have no regard for that. They don't give a fuck.
They
It's
don't
very
see.
blatant. They don't give a fuck. They just, it is what it is. I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna do it. What you gonna do about it is the attitude they have until you really do check them.
Do we play a part in these narratives and stereotypes? Because you did mention
Yes,
social media, and I would assume,
yes.
movies, TV, and shit like that.
The music heavily, because I had a friend with my a conversation with my friend, and she specifically asked me. She said, "How can we avoid saying the N word when it's in so much of you all's music? When they play it everywhere? When I'm in the clubs in Miami, it's the places that I be around. I'm not saying it's not black people, but where I'm at, it's a mixing pot. So I see them saying it in the clubs. It's because we have made them able to say it. It's in the music. It's in the social media. It's around. They have friends. They love to say, "I have black friends," and some of us have white friends. So I think it comes from a mix of things,
Go
not
ahead,
just
Fresh.
one. Go ahead. My bad.
I'm gonna respectfully disagree with that because they know to ask. They know to say it, uh, um, um, real secretively, right? Like they know it's a big thing to say it.
But
And
that's what
that's
I
something
said.
that's
She did
worldwide.
ask. She
So,
did
so,
ask.
no, hold on. So I'm just speaking to what Rashad, asked. Because my thing is this, in those other countries, while white people especially in Europe and then in the Western world are dominant in terms of numbers, they aren't the dominant culture, right? Like black culture is the dominant culture, but we just don't benefit from it. That's the difference in America. But we permeate to the whole world. In Latvia, Yugoslavia, and all those places, white is still the dominant culture. And we're looked at like they view us through this lens, like, oh, like it is social media and all these things, right? But they also are able to be racist with impunity, right? Like they're able to do things in other countries with impunity, in London and all types of places with impunity. Like they're not going to get direct results from being racist as to where in America is, it's more likely you could. One, a black American will probably physically intervene, right? They'll probably do something to you if you try to do something to them, which is why they use numbers. Or they're going to react, they're going to say something, which is why we're discussing this whole thing right here. Cause if this happened in Latvia, that's why she purported that. That's why she was like, you can win in America, but wouldn't win in my country. Cause she thinks that there'd be a fear because she can be openly racist in her country and that the systemic protection that, especially when it comes to the media, it wouldn't matter. Like she could say that and she wouldn't have backpedaled, but she does it over here because you're in your country, you're protected. That's what she's saying. And it is a cop out, like you said, and like the young lady just said, where she's trying to use that language barrier because how do you know to say you have no class and no education and know all these stereotypes, right? But then all of a sudden it's like, I don't
TikTok.
understand. American white women do that, right? As soon as they get caught,
Yep.
like if they do something racist to you, Rashad, or to your lady, and then like the cops are called, right? What do they do as soon as the cops get there? I just don't understand what's going on. Like it's getting out of hand. Like that's exactly what she just did in her language. And oh, I don't understand. It's all this. You know what you're doing. Stand on it. Like John McEnroe used to stand on it. Stand on it.
Go ahead, Pixie.
What I was going to go ahead and I want to go ahead and say to, I think that was Fresh that was talking, right?
Yeah, that was Fresh.
Okay. To Fresh's point, I want to go ahead and like point out that racism is universal, right? So I feel like that's where it carries out. Racism is totally universal. And even though the difference between the racism here and the racism, let's say, Portugal, middle, Europe, mid-Europe, whatever, is because it's a little bit more microaggressive. It's quiet racism, and it's so embedded, into their culture that it's overlooked to the point that it's like, that's why I could be your ass. Why? Because if you're 3/5 here, you are not even a person of position over there. Like if y'all, like, please, like, I don't know if y'all recall, I forgot that girl who was a basketball player, who got she was in jail for how long
Brittany
over wherever
Griner.
she was?
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, exactly. And mind you, it's just straight up for being black. So a
No, she
lot of
had
these,
weed in a legal country where they got laws.
Yeah, she was smoking weed.
yes,
You
And
gotta pay
yes,
her
But
and
Let's
they
be
but
did.
respectful to the law,
But they
please.
tried to tax her.
Pixie,
They
they
tried
try
to
to
tax
tax.
her.
Pixie, you right. Pixie, you right about that covertness. I just wanted to let you know that
Okay,
about being yes.
yeah, and I just wanted to go ahead and say that. So a lot of that, like, is part of it. Like, I'm Afro-Latina. I'm half black, half white, when it comes to that. I'm Dominican. And in my country, even though a majority of the people are black, telling you, like, black, right? Like skin tone and everything like that. And they will still to this day, they'll look at them as like not even. Like if you, like, they have that whole hierarchy, weird paper bag test, and that's how they act, and that's how they look at people. They automatically assume, oh, if you're black, you're uneducated, you never went to school, you never finished school. And a lot of, like, they have that mentality worldwide. It's over here that it's a little bit more blatant and in your face, so you're able to call it out. So, and if you were to be like, hey, that person's being obviously racist, like, let's say, in her country, in this, person's country, they'd be like, what are you talking about? Like, she's just doing what, like, that's not the truth. Like, they'll go ahead and gaslight it and spin her. So I feel like that's where she's talking about that. But it's obviously racism. She just, you know, she's playing in our faces and playing in her face.
Yeah, I agree with you. H. Bush, what's the word? How you feeling? Can't hear you, H. Bush. Go ahead, let me send you down. Come back up. Get H. Bush in here. Yeah, I do agree. Got a DM. DM said colonization started with the Europeans. It's in them. Listen, that may be true.
Well,
I ain't
yeah.
gonna hold you. H. Bush,
That's
what we
exactly
got?
what
look.
no, they're right. That's exactly more or less what I'm like. That's in layman's terms what I'm saying. Like it's so in them. It's so like fabricated into their fucking DNA that they don't even know. They can't even see the difference. Like until you, like, you gotta be like, yo, this is wrong. And they'll be like, what are you talking about? That's just how things are. And it's like, what the fuck? No, that's not it.
What's good, Shad?
What's the word? How you feeling today?
Shit, cool on this Sunday, man. Can't complain. I seen what that lady did after that game. That was real unsportsmanlike. She could have took her L and kept her head high. But women like to send shots, and if they want to take it low, they're going to take it as low as they can. So disrespect is disrespect. Racism aside, disrespect is disrespect. And if somebody's going to do something to get under your skin, I'm a black American. No half, no nothing. Black American through and through. So when motherfuckers is sending shots, they're sending shots at me. People can say, I can't say this. I can't say that. My people from Arkansas. So when we say they're sending shots, she lived across the pond. She shouldn't even be using nigga. We can't just say, oh, they using their music. If I go listen to a lot of their music, which I do listen to other countries' music, their music be like the Mexican cartel music. A lot of that mariachi shit be cartel music. People don't talk about that. They they just playing. That's cartel music. They're talking about how they was moving and grooving. But nobody likes to bring that stuff to light. Or when they talking about some of these like Russian countries, when they talking about conquering shit and other shit and through their stuff and killing people. People don't like talking about that, but when we talk about what's going on through the hoods, through the streets, it seems to be an issue, and I don't find it. But everybody else want to dress like they black, talk like they black, wear their hair like they black, wear makeup like they black, have the black physique, work out like they black, and then when they get chummed up and be like, "Oh, I lost to a black person," nigger, nigga. You don't even sound right. Half of motherfuckers don't even sound right saying it. For real, for real. Africans don't understand that shit. Africans do not understand this shit when we was younger and people was messing with us because they had hate in their heart. Not because we was niggas, they had hate in their hearts. We didn't have nothing to do with that. I didn't choose to be born in America and be black. I didn't choose this, but I inherited. I wear this shit. I am this. I ain't like the Shannon Sharp shit. I'm not gonna come in like Shannon Sharp. I'm gonna come in like me. Either you gonna love me or you gonna hate me.
Yeah, I
I
think
can't
it is
change your.
a level of everybody want to be black until it's time to be black. And I don't like it. I don't like the selectiveness in that aspect. And like I said, I don't like how this young woman Ostapenko tried to lean on lack of knowledge. Um you know what the fuck you did. And I think that, like I said, there should be more emphasis on the story when it comes to tennis and who governs tennis, because I don't necessarily think that that type of shit should be happening. We've seen it with my girl, what's my girl? Naomi
Serena
Osaka.
and
We've seen it
Venus.
with Coco Golf. We've seen it with Sloane and Serena and Venus. And it gets to that space, right, with these type of sports, the golfs and the tennis and the quote unquote white sports, and where a lot of this shit is more and more prevalent. And it does, in my opinion, doesn't seem like there is a level of protection for our athletes and us being us. We not gonna put our head down and thank you for being here. No, we here and we didn't earned it and we didn't showed it, and when we win, we gonna be us, and when we lose, we gonna be us. The racial undertones that continue to happen, I don't like it at all. I'm not
Your
gonna lie.
Hey,
argument is
hey
with the different
Rashad.
leagues. You got the WTA, the French Open,
Hmm.
the Lav. You
The
got too
Grand
many different
Slam.
leagues to the degree where they all will have to be aligned in regards to the racial aspects of the sport, of what people go through, et cetera, et cetera. So you need to be talking to the commissions of the different organizations.
Pixie, you guys want to ride with us to the next one? We got speaking of racial undertones in sports, Arch Manning, he played against my guys this weekend. We gave him a good old fashioned whooping. Nigga look ass, not gonna
I don't
lie.
think it was a
But
whooping.
it brought up a very good conversation. If y'all don't know, Arch Manning is the nephew to Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, who are Peyton's in the Hall of Fame. Eli is definitely going to be in the Hall of Fame one day. Very good quarterbacks. And Arch Manning has been anointed as the next coming. Ever since his 11th grade year in high school, he was the most recruited, highly touted number one recruit in his class. He's only played a couple games, I think 4 games this year. He is officially the starter, and he was already projected as the preseason Heisman. If you don't know, that's the highest award that you can get in college football. And he laid an egg on Saturday. I wanted to speak about the double standard when it comes to nepotism. There's a lot of situations where we talk about with Shador, how he dropped out of the first round all the way to the 5th round, because people perceive that his father had something to do with it. We had conversations about Bronny James, and the only reason that he's in the league is because of his father. When it comes to us in nepotism, it is shunned. Somebody asked me on the timeline yesterday too, what's the difference between Shador and Arch? And I said condescendingly that when white people do it, it's okay, and when black people do it, it's bad. I wanted to get y'all understanding of this situation. How do y'all feel about nepotism when it comes to white people versus black people? Do y'all see the difference in how Arch is covered as opposed to a Bronny James or a Shador Sanders? And what's the difference? We're going to have Fresh go, and then we got H. Bush.
Yeah, quickly. Yes, there's absolutely a difference. We saw this going back to Johnny Football, right? How they covered Johnny Football, how they covered Tim Tebow. They covered them as Jesus, right? And how they covered Cam. No matter what Cam did, they always talked about the laptop, which we come to find out is not even what happened. They talk about how he transferred schools. It's always the negative. Same thing with Shadura, right? Why are rappers around? Why does he have to do that celebration? Not the fact that they went to HBCU and performed. Then he went to your D1 school, right? Traditional D1 school, and was still able to perform, right? And things of that nature. When they talk about Arch Manning, right? Like yesterday, he had his chance, right? He's this savior, like you said, he's this savior of football, the next Manning, he's anointed, and he didn't show up. And if Shadur did that, he would have been crucified. But it's still like, well, he had guts, right? Like him going out there, he had guts to make those throws. If Shadur did it, he's inaccurate. He's indecisive. Right? So it's very coded in how they cover it. And when we talk even about nepotism, it's very coded. Nepotism is going to happen regardless. Like we talk about with Bronny James, even black people were complaining about that. And I'm like, guys, if the Lord bless me with a son and I can get him in places, cool. But we also act like Bronny James was like this major scrub. Like he was a highly touted high school recruit. He had a major, heart issue, got that corrected. He was okay in college. He's in the worst we've ever seen. We've seen guys get drafted that average 5 and 6 points in college off potential. We've seen that before. That wasn't new. And he got drafted like second to last in the draft. So like this man has had to work. So people keep saying nepotism like he was a first round draft pick. Same thing with Shador, right? Like they're saying nepotism, his dad's one of the greatest, but we know why he should not have been a first round pick. He shouldn't have been a fifth round pick. I'll give you second. I'll give you third. Especially on teams with that need. So we see how they're being covered. It's very clear how it's going. It's very clear, like, you know, how they cover it and what they're doing. They don't, at this point, they don't even try to hide it anymore. Like, they really play in your face. Dan Orlovsky playing in your face, calling him a generational talent. It's like, brother, you wouldn't know a generational talent if it hit you in the face. Because,
Yeah, that was very, very, very nasty. And I seen Kendrick Perkins called him out on it. And he was like, nigga, generational talent. I don't like the coverage, and it kind of went back to why I asked the question in the last segment of how do people get this understanding of black people, right? And I think the coverage, whether we contribute to it or not, like I always say, I don't think the bar should be perfection for black people, right? I think that there is duality in our culture in holding us to the standard of our quote unquote worst is disingenuous to us. I think when in these situations, it's clear that there is a concerted effort, whether it's consciously or subconsciously, to cover these young men differently. And I don't understand it for the life of me outside of you just got a white boy here and you got a black guy here. That's it. There's no other difference than that. And that part I don't feel good about.
and I would respect it if they would just say they're both arrogant. Like, had they called Johnny Football arrogant and all these things and said the same thing about Cam, I'm like, all right, cool. Had they said, man, Shadur doing that celebration and then Archie Manning doing all that, there's really no place for football for that. If they were just saying that across the board, I'd be like, all right, cool. That's just the standard. But when you make these different standards, it's glaring and you're asking people to be stupid. Right. That's really what you're asking them to do when you're covering and they're calling these things out. You're asking them to be stupid, right? Like, no, that's not actually happening in front of you. And that's where lies the nastiness by which you're calling it out. Like, it's just ridiculous
Yeah.
that you act like it's not happening. Just own it, man. Just be like, all right, I did it and what? Cool.
Let's get to H. Bush, then we got DB. What's the word, H. Bush?
I ain't gonna make it that long. Archie is getting paid 6.8. Shador makes 6.5. I think Texas need to get their money back because I don't think he's gonna have a job either next year or the year. If they give him more than 6 games, I'll be surprised because Ohio State should
Hold
have
on, wait.
been
We're not gonna
blitzing
get to
it.
the X's and O's of the game.
I'm
We
just
just gonna
okay,
talking about
okay.
the understanding and the perception
Oh no,
Arch
but okay,
versus
but
a
I'm just getting
Shador.
like how Archie was reading and how Shador was reading. Shador read better schemes than Archie read because is in a better predicament than Shador was. And they would have picked Shador apart today about how he played it, how he was reading and reads, and he's not ready to be in that category of elite like draft pick because I don't think he's an elite draft pick. I think he's a 4-year player for real. And I just leave like you can tell his dad and them just threw him in like camps and stuff. Shador was in the fire. Shador was like same thing with Bronny. Like that's the difference between a lot of these kids that got the nepotism. If you're not thrown in the fire, aka Michael Jordan kids, Your kids turn out to be bullshit, and I'll leave it right there.
Sniffing coke at breakfast. Some would say that's a hell of a life, though. Go ahead, DB.
So you want to speak just to nepotism?
Yes.
First off, he got the name. He don't have the the name. Yes, is for even going back to Peyton and them father that played in the league. So he got the pedigree. It's in him. You being skewed with this, he got dominated by Ohio State. I didn't see that. He the kid just got to tighten up his mechanics. He had mechanical errors yesterday. I did see people scrutinizing him on my timeline in the sports community. I don't know what y'all was in individually. Even on TV, I heard the same when they was covering the game on the post game.
I'm not talking about post game. I'm talking about he only started 4 games in his career.
Right. So I'm not
and those
judging
were
his...
because Quinn Ewers was hurt, and then before the season, he is the consensus Heisman Trophy front runner, right? And that has nothing to do with what he has done on the field. That has everything to do with his name. And I am pro nepotism, but it is even in our community, and where we look at nepotism when it comes to black folks as an issue, as opposed to when it comes to white folks, is cool.
I think what I see in sports, nepotism also, your actual outcomes on the field plays a part in the outcomes of where you'll be on the actual teams or whatever going forward. It still be to be determined with Arch, I'll say. I can't speak to where he'll get drafted or any of that other shit, or he'll win the Heisman or be at the ceremony in New York.
But that's the whole thing, DB. The experts are speaking on the fact that he is going to win the Heisman and he is going to be a number 1 draft pick. So that's the whole conversation.
That's still to be determined. Experts, Mel Kiper is wrong a lot, and he acknowledges the fact that
so what I'm saying is, I think we know that, but when we looking at this, it doesn't seem like they're not doing it fairly, right? He is projected like this, and we've seen Shedeur projected in a certain type of way, strictly because his dad, a lot of people say that his dad is the reason and why he fell to the 5th round, right? Because of Prime and the pressure and shit like that, as opposed to, he has 2 uncles, and a grandpa who are very famous too. His family told Eli or the Chargers, no, my son ain't coming to this motherfucking team. And the Chargers was forced to trade him, right? And so his family gonna put their foot down as well, and it doesn't seem to hurt him like it hurt Shedeur.
The comparison to Shedeur, I think, is invalid, because Shedeur was successful at the 2 schools that he was at, the HBCU and at Colorado. Now, are those 2 schools in comparison to where Arch is at the same level? We all unanimously will agree, say, fuck no.
So
right?
what? Josh Allen got drafted in the 1st round. Josh Allen was my point, my nigga. So what?
Let me just finish it, all right? You don't mind. What I'm speaking to is the fact that Shedeur was in the Heisman conversation, in addition to the books, as far as betting odds of being in that conversation. Now, his production as the year went along didn't get him an invite, but it got his teammate an invite last year, who was the winner, which was the kid. What's the kid name? Travis. Travis was the winner of the Heisman. So, in conclusion, Archie got in the building. He's at a prominent university, a prominent football program where he is currently. 4 games. I'm not going to critique his against the a top school in football that's going to be in the national fucking title conversation when it comes down to the end of the season in December. I'm not going to critique it off of 1 fucking game. It was a shitty game as far as its mechanics go, but he had hella 5 throws in that 4th quarter. It was hope for the University of Texas in that game that we saw yesterday, unless he was just
That's
fucking
still
blind.
not speaking to the coverage of Shedeur versus Arch. But hold on. Go ahead, Mushy.
All right, man.
Hey, good morning, distinguished panel. How you
What's the
guys
word?
doing
How you
today?
feeling?
I'm all right, man. So yeah, to keep it off the X's and O's, it's always gonna be an uphill battle, Shad, when it comes to us and nepotism. We do it to ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, if we have this, debate about suburban blacks or hood blacks, you know what I'm saying? Like, people will be like, oh, you had this and had that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that shit. When it comes to nepotism, it's always been there and forever with, this division between like blacks and whites. And they do it too. Just like, they saying Bill Belichick is taking this job to set up his son in North Carolina. You know what I mean? It's always going to be that when it comes to the, you know what I'm saying, nepotism. I'm pro nepotism just like you though. You know what I'm saying? But if your family has built up this, built themselves up to get you in that position, I don't see anything wrong with that. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to do that. And Pram has done that. But again, like when it comes to black Americans, it's always going to be that scrutiny with us. You know what I'm saying? When we go above and beyond to get our kids there and then they're going to try to tear us down somehow. Just like with this kid, like, he hasn't done anything, but guess what? He has that name. You know what I'm saying? We noticed that this kid is probably, I don't want to take it to the X's and O's part, but we know this kid probably isn't his two uncles, you know what I'm saying? But just because of the name, he gets this. Just because of the name, he has been able to go to Texas off of his name. So if he can prove himself, then right, you know what I'm saying? But other than that, nah, it's nepotism at its finest when it comes to Arch. Like you're saying, like, Shador did everything that he was supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? His father helped put him in those positions, but they still try to tear him down. His family has put him in this position by just their name, you know what I'm saying? And they're not trying to tear him down. So when it comes to us, man, we always gonna have that uphill battle when we beat the odds and, you know what I'm saying, excel. So it's just gonna be that, man. We just gotta deal with it, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to us.
Yeah, I hate that, and I hate that when it comes from our culture in general. I absolutely hate when black folks talk about nepotism as a bad thing, right? Because we have so many narratives about how black fathers specifically don't show up and they're not involved and they don't give a fuck and the blah blah blah, even though the numbers say otherwise, right? And so when we have something completely opposite of black men who are kicking ass in their own professions, legends in their own right, doing things quote unquote the right way. And guess what? I got kids and I'm putting my kids on too, nigga. Now what? And we look at it like, this is the worst thing in the world. It's like, God
But
damn.
at the
Like,
same point, his father wasn't that. He was the failed quarterback out of the family, Arch's father. Arch was recruited by 12 fucking universities, all D1, all
nobody
top
talks
schools
about
as the
art.
number
Nobody
one
talks about
as the number one
Cooper when they
recruit
talk
of his
about art.
class in
All right,
2023.
so check this
His
out,
father
right?
was a failure,
His,
nigga. What are we
hold
talking
on, but
No,
about?
his father
his
has
father is
MS.
still,
Hold on,
listen,
hold
He
on,
his
hold on,
still
father
hold
got
on.
the
still
name,
Real
but
has,
he
quick,
was a
real quick, real
failure in
quick.
sports, my nigga.
Real
Are
quick,
we
real
talking
quick,
hold
about
real
something
on,
quick.
but
real?
No,
his
his
father is
dad
No.
has,
still
hold
on
on,
Okay, I
hold
don't
on,
Fox
want
but
to.
hold
TV,
on,
I
my
want to have a
nigga.
conversation.
If,
hold on. His father
Was a
has
failure
multiple sclerosis.
when
His
he was
father has
playing. He was
MS.
ass.
No, he
all right, so hold on.
wasn't. He was the best in the family, and he was highly recruited, and he went to Ole Miss to follow Arch, and he got a degenerative disease and couldn't play no more. That's what the story is. But
All right,
let's
hold
go
on,
to
Chad. So check
go
this
ahead,
out.
Mush, and then we got Doko,
You,
AK, then Fresh.
all right, so they talk about his father, right? What is his father doing? He still has a job on Fox. Every Sunday, you know what I'm saying? They still bring him in on Fox. He hasn't even played in the NFL. That's the power of nepotism. You haven't played football in 20 years, but guess what? You still have, like, on Sundays, y'all see his father up there every Sunday doing the skit or anything else, and he still hasn't played in 20 years. That's nepotism right there. That's off of his name. So we can't even go and talk about his father's career. And when they still implement him off of his two brothers and give him a slot on fucking Fox. That's nepotism right there. You can't even just look past that. And that's what we saying. Like, the name alone puts you there.
I
And when
think
we
I don't think your name gets you the number one recruit in the nation
we're not
as
talking
an
about
athlete. That's what
Hold on,
but you
Marcus
wait. Let's get to the
was.
hands real quick.
go ahead, y'all.
Let Joko
I'm
go.
actually going to go off of Mushy's point a little bit. Aside from them having relationships at Fox and how everybody doing today, the Mannings work for ESPN, dog. Like, you're not gonna fucking bash somebody's kid and then go look at him at work the next day. These niggas can't talk bad about this kid, if we being honest.
I think that's. Oh, did you?
That's
Were
a
you
good
done?
point.
I'm done. I'm done.
That's like us
Oh,
talking about Kendrick Perkins' son that's playing basketball right now or whatever. You're right. You got a point.
go ahead. AK. Then we got Fresh.
Okay, so I'm pro nepotism like you, Rashad. I feel like if you have the ability to put your child in a position to win, then do so. I don't know much about sports, but I just wanted to say that racism does play a huge part in it. It goes back to even a deeper root that I won't get into, but we all know where it comes from. And every time they're able to put their kid in a position to win, they're going to do exactly that. And to the young man who just said that the Mannings own ESPN, of course they're not going
Well,
to
they own. They don't own it. They work for ESPN. Both of them.
Okay. Well,
Well, all
okay.
three of them.
Okay. So of course you're not gonna talk bad about someone that you have to show up and sit next to and work with. So I definitely understand that from that perspective as well. But I'm pro nepotism, and I understand that to me they're both, nepo babies because even Shador, his father has placed him and helped him get in a position to win, and he may be placed in the ring of fire, but he still has been put in a greater position than some young men that don't have that opportunity at all, who work just as hard.
I don't want to be
Go.
this guy. I got a question though. What bowl games? What has Shador won?
Nothing. That's why I'm like he went to a lesser school and program. Like we can't
Yeah,
compare
I
the
don't
two
necessarily
just
think
yet.
I don't think that should be the parameter. I think that it's very clear that although um his school was, it was still a Power 5. Go look at the number of players that was on that team that's in the NFL, and you will probably find maybe another one, the receiver. But other than that,
Jim Horn or
nobody
Joe
else.
Horn got signed to Carolina. That's
Jimmy
about it.
Horn,
Yeah, he got
Travis Hunter. That's
signed.
it.
No,
Yeah,
but
so
so
so that is something that should be used as a positive instead of a negative for Shador. But go ahead, Fresh.
yeah, and I think a little bit we kind of strayed from the point because I made the direct correlation to what you were talking about initially, Rashad, to how they speak about Cam Newton, right? They don't like Cam Newton's brashness. They don't like, because everything he says is facts. Like he backs it up with facts, and what he did on the field, they did the same thing to him when he was in college. Like they loved to hate him, but they couldn't disrespect his production. To DB's point, right? Talking about the production. I'm not gonna say Archie Manning is not a good football player because you still have to have talent, just like Austin Rivers had to have talent, just like Steph Curry
Exactly.
had to have talent. All of them had to have talent. Shador had talent. He was getting trained by Tom Brady. That's nepotism. Nepotism isn't just family either. Nepotism, that's why is the age old saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know, right? Like if I'm a friend of Rashad and I work in a business and I put Rashad in that avenue, not just because of his own merits, but because I am vouching for him, that is nepotism. And I'm trying to help him. That is a good thing. But it is only, demonized when it comes to black people. Like I said, Bronny James was a great example of that. Braun put this man in no better position but to give him an opportunity at the league. He was the second to the last pick of the draft. Like those guys never get signed. Like he went to summer league, he hooped. He went to the G League, took his strikes, he hooped. He averaged like 19, 20 in the G League, right? After a rough start. So like he's earning his keep. What we're talking about is the coverage though. Like, and it comes down to benefit of the doubt. Black people don't get the benefit of the doubt. Archie Manning and DB, I know what you were talking about. A lot of the actual people who know sports were talking about his production. But
Yeah.
the main sport pundits, right? Like Dan Orlovsky, the ones who have the millions of followers, he's a generational talent. They didn't talk anything about it. They didn't come at it from the
He
standpoint
still
of,
could be a generational
no, no,
talent.
no, no. I'm
Exactly.
saying, but they didn't come at it from the standpoint of where he needs to improve and things of that nature. As to where when
Got
they
you.
talked about Shadur, even when he showed out, right? You remember when he threw 5 touchdowns, 400 yards? They never talked about, the positives and look how crisp he did. Look at how he did this. Look at his comebacks. Cause he had the most comebacks that year. But mind you,
I'm
yes, we
gonna
know
do it
Colorado.
again.
Yeah, we
Sorry,
know
Fresh. I
Colorado
don't mean to
wasn't.
cut you off. Real quick
Hold
though.
on, let me finish though, brother. I didn't cut you off. We
Oh,
know,
hold on. Nobody cut nobody off because I had my hand up.
we know,
Hold
You ain't
on,
doing hands or
hold
not
on,
doing
hold
it.
on.
go ahead,
We
Fresh.
know Colorado is not the greatest program that should do it. Them, yes, they didn't go win a title or anything like that. But they were the laughing stock of football. Like they were like among the Power Five, among the top schools. They were the laughing stock. They had won more games in the last 2 years than the collective like 4 years, 5 years combined before that. Like they were horrible. And the fact that they even brought them any sense of relevancy and he showed out in terms of stats and Travis Hunter showed out in terms of stats and in terms of production and where they took that school and how they were covered. It was simply always negative. It was always his nepotism was looked at as a negative as to where Archie's look as legacy. Dion also has legacy. He's considered the greatest cornerback of all time. He's considered one of the greatest players of all time, right? But it's used against him rather than with Archie Manning and that legacy, it's used for him. And that's what Rashard is talking about. And that's what we need to harp on because we all know the sports and we're not simply talking about that. We're talking about how it's covered. Same thing with Johnny Football, how he was covered, how, Tim Tebow and them were covered, and then how, you see how they protect Tim Tebow now. He wasn't productive when he got to the NFL, right? But they talk about, oh, he believed in Jesus and he could rile up his teammates and what he did in college. And then look at Cam Newton, who was far more productive, and they still talk about he didn't jump on the football, whatever. They wouldn't even have been undefeated if it wasn't for Cam Newton. He took you and me to the Super Bowl. Like, what are we talking about? So I just want to speak that to Rashad's
I'm
point.
It
gonna
was a
take
lot
Steve
of fuck
Smith.
niggas on that
There's
team.
a
I ain't
lot
gonna
of
lie.
people.
Go ahead.
Steve Smith and Greg Olson, please.
Hold on. Go ahead, Doko, and then we got ODB.
I just like these people are human, right? And how we make people feel fucking matters. Like, if you shitted on me along the way, I'm not saying they have or haven't, but if you shitted on me along the way and I got a chance to not prop you up, I'm just not gonna do it. I'm sorry.
I can.
But who did Deion
I
Sanders
I
shit
don't
on,
think
bro?
that I think that there is a difference. Like me and my personality, if that makes you uncomfortable, then that's a you problem, right? And I think that Dion came from the very beginning when he said that I forgot what team it was. He was like, they gonna have to write a check so big that the the bank bounced, right? And that was before he even got drafted. Then he showed up with the Jerry curl. Then he showed up with the gold chains. Then he making music and he's playing baseball. A lot of niggas are uncomfortable about that shit. There were people that wrote that
But
he was
Rashawn,
selfish.
Shadur don't got
Well,
Dion
hold on,
talent.
bro. It's my
That's a
hold on,
Wait,
bro.
wait,
generational
ODB, we
talent.
having back and forth.
Okay.
Hold
That's a
on.
generational talent. You comparing Dion to his son. Now, granted, I'm not saying.
Who did
Go ahead, ask your question. Go ahead.
bro? Who did like and that I'm a but who did he shit on like along the way?
The
Like
niggas that are
I can
about to
see if you
hire
said
you
and hold
next,
on.
you said
Let me
don't
just tell
hire
you, I'm
me.
not coming.
That's the
Hold on,
niggas he
bro. You're
shitted on.
screaming. Hold, bro. Please hold on. I'm. There's no reason to scream because I'm not. I really need to know your mindset around it. I could see specifically if you said like the 49ers because he left the 49ers and went to the Cowboys. So Dion, so the 49ers wouldn't. But Dion didn't shit on the whole NFL, bro. He never shitted on the. He
First
was
of
one
all,
of
I'm
the.
not talking about
Come
Dion
on, bro.
shitting on the whole NFL. That's number one.
Shador never
Number
shitted on the
two, when your
NFL, bro.
father is telling niggas don't draft me, that's shitting on somebody. The nigga who's about to cut you a check, you're telling that person don't even bother, and he doesn't have the talent of his father. That's rubbing people wrong the wrong way, bro. Regardless of how
All right,
y'all
let me
want to
ask you
look
a
at it.
That's
question, Doko.
you. So you're
Hold on,
saying a
wait. Hold on,
person doing
wait.
business is shitting
Doko,
on
let
them?
me ask you a question. Because like I said, that was the same thing that happened with Eli. Right? And so once again, we're looking at something that probably will happen or might happen, or we heard something when it comes to Dion, as opposed to what actually happened when it came to that Manning
Right.
family.
So listen
Right?
though,
And so
Brashad,
even in
but
that,
listen, when they said that about Eli, right? Peyton was already in the league and he was already doing all right. So they're like, you know what? Fuck it. This is risk. We'll take the risk. They already had proof of concept.
I think that that's a double standard.
By the way, I'm a
Um,
Shador fan, nigga. I'm just arguing the other side.
Yeah, I think that that's a double standard to a certain degree because even still, the Chargers got fucked. Not really because they got Phillip Rivers, but even still, it's
We'll
like,
take
hey,
Phillip
fam,
Rivers 10 times out of 10
this
over that
nigga,
fucking bum.
this nigga held out,
He
and
wasn't a
this is our
bum.
pick.
Hold on, he wasn't a
And
bum.
if
One of them have a
Dion
Super
ever
Bowl, one
did
of them
that,
don't. Who's a bum?
I think that
Phillip Rivers are way better.
y'all niggas going back to X and O's and we ain't there. I think that him actually holding out is something that shouldn't be looked upon as a good thing. You know, when their family has stepped in. Listen, you didn't did a lot of shit in this league and for this football community, but you stepping into a $1 billion organization and calling the shots, I think that that would be more detrimental than the possibility or or you know the prospect that he might. And Arch doesn't get that type of criticism that Prime does, right? Peyton doesn't get it, Eli doesn't get it, and we're looking at this family as like the gold standard, and the same things that are held against the Sanders family, they have actually done.
Because in recent
Go
years, though,
ahead.
and I'm done after this. I'll go down. In recent years, they haven't.
You don't got
Go
to
ahead,
go
what's
down.
up?
Stay up, brother. I got some shit for you. Okay, so hey, first off, Rashad, I had to start off the thing with the right way. Shout out to these Buckeyes real quick, exposing this conversation to be a real. I'm holding my watch up to the mirror right now while I say it too. Shout out to the Buckeyes exposing this nigga for what it really is going on with one Archie Manning. And we keep cutting the conversation short. We got to start with that boy Grandpappy that played for the Saints. That was a Pro Bowler. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with Arch, or what, isn't that his dad's name? Arch Manning?
Yeah.
Isn't
No,
that
his dad name is Cooper.
No,
who?
his
No, no,
dad's
no, no,
name is
no.
Cooper. The
Their dad,
grandfather
Oh,
is
Peyton Manning,
grandpa
and
Archie,
Archie. Yeah,
grandpa's
yeah,
grandfather is
Archie.
Archie
Archie.
Manning. Exactly. So it's not Peyton that made that phone call. It was Archie Manning. The same type of situation as Dion, a retired player saying, "Hey, y'all shouldn't draft my son. He don't want to be here, and I'm in it for the marketability of my son." That's the same thing Dion said, bro. But they didn't look
One
at.
is
They
public,
never
one
gave
is
that
not.
one. It was in the
yeah.
papers, bro. We have a whole view,
No.
different way
I
of.
get what Joko's saying. I get. He's saying that Dion sat his ass up there and said it, and then
The nigga
even though the
grandstanding,
actions were,
bro.
yeah, I get you.
Niggas said it
Hold on,
on,
wait.
like, okay,
Get
he
your point
didn't,
off,
he didn't,
ODB. Get your
yeah,
main point
but
off.
y'all trying to rush me through my point, bro. Like, what I'm saying is he said it
My bad.
through a media outlet. Back in the day, bro, we have a whole different way of social media. Social media moved way faster than it did in like 2002 when he told newspapers about it. That's not shitting on him, bro. Like I think it's like the mind of some of y'all niggas, bro. We got to go back to some like slave mentality, even though black people was way more than slaves over here in America, but a slave mentality where y'all go way harder on y'all own people than y'all do on these white boys. Like y'all love to give them some type of caveat. And that's the reason why we even having this type of conversation like Shador. Yes, from what I seen from Arch Manning, like just straight X's and O's evaluation, bro, he still got a lot of shit to show me to tell me that he's going to beat out some of the requisite talent that's in. I don't think I like DJ Lagway out of Florida better than I like him. Point blank period, bro. And they about the same age. You see what I'm saying? So Arch really got some shit to show as far as this college football shit, being the number one Heisman candidate and all of that. But the conversation about Eli and the nepotism and should we hold it against him? No, we should be outraged, bro, because Archie Manning did the same thing for his son. When he played for the Giants, he told him, yeah, don't go to the Chargers. We don't want him to go here. But they didn't blackball him. They didn't go do all of this shit. They didn't bomb his stock. You know what I mean? He got to go to a requisite team. If I seen Shador Sanders on a team that he needed to be, that was ready to build around him, bro, I think we'd be looking at maybe a team that we would talk about maybe being able to breach the playoffs. You know what I'm saying? We throw him on a Vikings. We throw him on some shit like that. You know what I mean? He was the most accurate quarterback in all of college football last year. But y'all niggas love to give caveats for, I don't know why. I'm not indoctrinated like y'all. I can't tell you why you would want to give
Nigga
the
said
same, a different
indoctrinated.
caveat. Yeah,
You got
because I
one
don't
more
know why you,
personal shot,
what do you
motherfucker.
call, no, it's not personal, bro, because you're not the only one who said it. There's a lot of people that would rather, like, we could look at the situation one for one, or okay, a retired Hall of Famer, another retired Hall of Famer. They both told the NFL and the public platforms not to go draft their kid. One gets blackballed,
One is
one
an
becomes the
active
first.
coach. One is doing it behind the scenes. Y'all can't fucking
He
ignore
is
this and
not
keep
doing it
dancing
behind
around
the
that.
scenes,
All
bro.
right,
He
let
told a
Joko
newspaper
get his point
outlet
off. Then we go on to the
that
next one.
listen, that was publicly known by, they were talking about it on ESPN. It made they knew about it. That was not something that was hush hush like the major media outlets wasn't reporting on it. So what are you talking about? Keep saying he did it in private. He told a newspaper, they brought the story up. ESPN was talking about it. Why do you want to give this white man this caveat, bro? I
Black
don't
brashness,
understand that.
black brashness is demonized. That's the elephant in the room. Black brashness is demonized. The celebration Shadur does is demonized. If Archie Manning does some celebration, hook 'em horns and something like that, it's praised. If he does the Selly thing, it's not praised. Like it's literally being brash is demonized. They demonized Dion his whole career. Black people did it. Spike Lee was just in there, and Rashad, you should have gave him the nasty dude of the century, talking about he's talking about Dion should break his leg and all types of stuff. Like your boy was on some cool,
Nasty.
nasty work.
Fresh for me,
You know what I'm
fresh
That's
for
saying?
me. It's
crazy.
So
less about him being brash and it's more about these motherfuckers is the go along get along club, right? And they
Oh,
have
so
their
you want
certain
niggas to
rules.
conform? You a conformist? Okay, cool.
Nigga, if you want to be a part of their shit, you gotta conform,
All
or
right, you a
don't give
conformist.
them
That's
the
me.
shit to
I
use
just wanted to
against
know
you.
what your shit was,
right,
bro.
right,
I don't
white
think
people
niggas
don't
need to
have to.
conform, bro. We making money for these niggas, so why should we conform? Our money, our likeness, our culture. We don't gotta conform. Now there's gonna be some do boys. Like I thought one of my favorite player all the time is LaDainian Tomlinson. I do like how he handle his business, bro. Like that's why I always like I fucked with bro. He real business like. But even though he not the most loudest and brash, you had the right to be, you know what I mean, Emmitt Smith and be loud and let niggas know you the best, bro. Like that what's wrong with, especially in the realm of sports. Why would you demonize a nigga to go? Why would you demonize a nigga for doing that, bro? That's what you're supposed to do. That's the outlet where you can show that kind of aggression, passion, all of that shit, bro. Like what?
Yeah, so to tie it back to the last topic, I think that there in an ideal world there is space for black people to be unapologetically black. To speak to Doko's point, it is not a safe space for black people to be unapologetically black. And so the towing the line narrative is something that we have to deal with. I think we've had conversations about code switching. We've had conversations about what that means and what that looks like in the workplace, even in professional sports and being an athlete. We just talked about Taylor Townsend and what was expected of her when she won, right? I don't like that. I don't like it because there's videos of Arch yesterday before the game, in pregame, and he's singing the songs and he feeling the music and he turning up and getting himself psyched up. And the narrative isn't arrogance. The narrative isn't he's not focused. The narrative isn't and then after the game, they got their ass whooped. There aren't too many negative narratives about him as a person. That's one thing that is a stark difference in where we talk about Shador as a person, as a man, and as opposed to Arch, we just talk about his play.
Now
And I
this is
seen
where
him,
I
And
agree.
I
and I
think
kind of
that
seen
that's
him
undeniable.
shrug off a coach at the end of like, yeah, we're gonna get it next time. Like, why weren't you more locked into the game? You know what I mean? You're the Heisman fucking first hopeful, number one on the list,
Yeah,
bro.
I think that
Now this I agree with.
I think that's the difference between the biggest difference is we should be able to talk about them as football players instead of talking about their character and their personality, especially when at the end of the day, man, these niggas is 21, 22 years old and you feeling yourself and you're making a lot of money. And you're playing quarterback. That's the hardest position in sports and where you need a level of confidence and arrogance. And so for on one hand to be detrimental to the likes of dropping to the fifth round. And on the other hand, with Arch, it is seen as something that is helpful to him and has gotten him Heisman frontrunner consideration. And the nigga ain't even played football. I think that that's ridiculous. But listen, it's 2:27. Appreciate y'all here. Repost the space. Repost the space. Repost the space. Follow the host. Follow the folks up here that said some good shit to you. The Patreon is in the jumbo. We got a free tier. We got a $5 tier. We got a $10 tier, man. A lot of quality content. Exclusive podcast dropping September 26th. September 26th. September 26th. The Nature of Things podcast. Me, Kenya, 10, Jonay with the production. I can't wait for that shit, man. It's going to be very, very quality. We also got a Discord that we're having the viewing of the podcast in the Discord on September 27th, the day after. So everybody subscribe to the Patreon. You get a Discord link and we gonna watch the pod together. And I want to hear y'all real thoughts. I want to hear how y'all feel, what you like, what you don't like, what you would like to see in the future. Honest feedback. I don't want no goddamn glaze fest. We ain't here for that. We trying to provide the best quality possible. And so we definitely want to hear from you. So sign up for the Patreon, get a Discord link so you can be a part of that. Would definitely appreciate that shit, man. We off to the next one. Talking about sons. Boosie's going through his legal troubles. He pled guilty to a gun charge with the feds. He's facing up to 15 years. Not looking good for Boosie. Charleston White was seen online praying for him to get close to the max. Laughing, joking. I think his reasoning behind that was because of how Boosie got Marlo Mike in prison, as far as him being Boosie's hitman. Tootie Raw, Boosie's son, said, "Hey man, I can't wait to see Charleston White." Charleston took it to hell and even threatened to shoot him and take his life. I thought that that was interesting because of the dynamic. One, Charleston, you old as fuck. Tootie Raw is young, but also the dynamic of somebody stepping in and not allowing this to happen. I think we see this shit too many times. We understand that Charleston is a troll, but he do be saying good shit a lot. And he do be right a lot, even though his delivery is crazy. But as he explained on the Cam Newton show, his delivery is that way because when he wasn't speaking with that tone, people weren't listening. I want to know if y'all, how did y'all feel about this situation? Did y'all see this? Did Charleston overstep? Did Lil Tootie overstep? Who we got? Go ahead, Fresh.
Yeah, I mean, the same thing I say about Charleston White all the time. Uh, Does he say some things that resonate within the community from time to time? Yes, but he's a caricature, and he's knowingly playing a caricature. That does not excuse him from the results of the caricature. And that's where I always disconnect with him. This too is a man who also was a snitch. I need y'all to recognize that. Like, he also was all these things. So like he comes from the vein of like he's speaking on it because I'm a snitch too and all this stuff like that. But then he tries to purport as if he's like a real dude, but then he tries to call out stuff. It's like, bro, just give the information out. Like, this is that Tootie Raw, that's Tootie Raw's father, right? So he's gonna say something to you. Right, like if you're wishing on his father's downfall, no matter his father's stupid or whatever he's done, and you're saying, I hope he gets the max and all this stuff like that, like who's not gonna respond to that? Like within their family, like who's not gonna say something back to Charleston White? So a lot of time, like he throws stones and hides his hand behind the legalities of the law, but he wants to play in the streets and then hide behind legality. I'm not with that. I'm with that if you're gonna purport, like enrichment for the community, that you speak it, you walk it, you actually do it. He wants to be a care. Like I look at him as the other side of Umar, right? And I'm gonna be quick about this. Umar has a lot of great knowledge. Umar does not want to just enrich the community. He wants to be praised. He wants to receive the glory of enriching the community. People who actually want to enrich the community don't care about glory. They want the glory comes from the community being enriched. The same thing with Charleston White. He is far more of a grifter than he is a thinker. Does he have knowledge? Yes. He is not dumb. But he'd rather be a caricature and be more for the money and for other things than enrich the community. So calling out all these dudes and snitches and stuff like that, yes, that's something that does need to be done. But then the caricature of now telling somebody their son and he goes too far about the stuff, the way he says it and the stuff he does on entertainment, then you lose people. You lose the plot of what you're saying. It loses conviction. And that's my issue with a lot of these dudes who try to combine the entertainment with what they're doing. So that's my issue with Charleston White, with on that. Cause that's still somebody's dad and Tootie Raw is going to say something. Now that doesn't mean he's right, but that's his father. So he's going to respond.
I got a question because, like I said, he was on
Hmm.
Cam's show and Cam asked him about his tone and his delivery. And he explained it in where he said, when I was out here getting laws changed and I was working with congressional members and on the cover of journals and shit like that, nobody gave a fuck. Nobody listened.
Exactly
And
though.
then now I'm talking this way and now it's all your delivery, but nobody's talking about the degeneracy that's promoted in the community. Y'all just want to talk about how
I
I
think they
think
are though,
about it
Rashad.
instead of
But
the
my thing is,
actual
that's
thing.
my point. They are talking about the degeneracy. Like I said, my thing is they are talking about the degeneracy. He's not the first person to call these things out. My thing is he wants to be a part of it on the entertainment side. He wants to receive the benefits of the entertainment side of it while still also calling it out. You cannot participate in it and also call it out. Brother, why do your name need to be known for you to make change? When you were working with congressional members, that was the prestige. The fact that you were getting laws changed, that you were making things better. So you are being dual-minded. You're not standing, like it's just like Umar. Like, you're not getting that school off the ground, all these things, all these other things happening because you want the prestige. Other people who are close to them have talked about this. How you have knowledge, but you want glory. You don't want it to actually get better for the people to actually call things out. Because real change happens out in the street. Like that young brother that called out Roland Martin, who has that school for change for boys. He doesn't care about, like the prestige of it. He cares about actually making change in boys in the black community and in people's lives. Like, these people want to be a part of the entertainment value.
Go ahead,
Yeah, you're
ODB.
wrong, bro. Have you ever changed the law? You ever been a part of working with congressional members to change the law? You speak well.
I have, yes, sir. I have here in Charlotte, North Carolina. I've changed multiple
Okay.
things in Concord, North Carolina, when it comes to the school system, when it comes
So
to
you
certain
would
things. I'm
under
not the
so
one to
so
do.
then you would
So I'm
understand
not the
like
one to do that
no,
with though.
you
So
don't
I'm not
gotta
the
get
one to do that with.
emotional, bro. Like I'm asking you
No,
a
I'm
question.
not
I got
emotional. I'm
another
not
actually
emotional.
I got another question for you. You don't
No,
gotta
I'm
be
not emotional
you told me
because
you
you
did, bro. I
support
said you
something.
speak well, bro. I believe that you
No,
did. I 100%
no,
believe you,
I'm
bro.
saying I didn't get emotional. I'm saying don't do that, brother. You tried to do that last, brother. I'm saying just state your point and let that represent it. Don't tell me I'm wrong because I represent it with
I didn't
facts.
tell you was
Go ahead
wrong.
and
I
take your
was
point.
actually I'm about to ask you another
That's
yeah,
exactly
I'm
what
about
you
You,
said, ODB. You said you're
oh I
wrong.
said you're wrong, my bad. I'm a little high. Okay. Yeah. So I said, okay, if you know how to change raw laws and everything like that, you know what I mean? You know how difficult it is, correct? Like to go do that.
yes,
The time, the
yes.
consistency. So you would have to say like there's something commendable about Charleston White taking all this time before he hopped into being a character to do the same thing that you said you're doing to affect the community, right?
What? Okay. So what are you saying that goes
You would
against
have
what
to
I said?
that has to be applaudable. Like you would say that's something like that's good. Like
That has to
that's
be what? No, it
yeah.
doesn't, brother. Because I don't care about glory. What I cared about those
No.
laws got changed
I'm not
when it
talking
got
about
better
Charleston
for
White the
black people.
caricature. I'm not talking about the character. I'm saying for him
That
as
was
a
the whole point.
lawmaker, working with congressional people, you know what I mean? That's good, right?
Rashad, yo, so I said that, right? I said that.
Yeah, that's
Get
good.
your point off.
That's
You don't
good,
have to
right?
answer
So like I'm
everything.
pretty much just saying that to say like you still did all of this work and like you see the degeneracy in the community. It's always like y'all half stepping people that make these false equivalent. Dr. Umar stole money from black people. Charleston White didn't steal any money from black people. You would know the makings of somebody who works with congressional people to make laws. I don't know that. I'm a contractor, but you would know what that takes. And you know how in a certain type of way, how they would talk about this man. If he stole money, it was defrauding people out of money. He ain't do that, bro. Charleston White, you don't like his delivery. But you also don't have a problem with these kids that are getting killed. You don't want to have a direct solution
Did
for
he hear
that.
me
You
say I
want to
was
go
in the
through.
school system? Did he
You
hear me?
know, listen,
Did you hear
because
me say that?
and then sometimes, listen, people, let me not say that so you don't gotta hop off your mind. People don't want to have a direct solution for that. You know what I mean? People want to stop the bad things in urban culture, but then y'all have a problem with his delivery or how we talk about Young Thug. What, y'all want to have a protection for Boosie. Boosie is not like, I like Boosie for real, on a personal, I listen to Boosie for real, but what he represents is not something that I'm about to go to bat for like that. Just point blank, period. In my
But
age, well, where I'm at as a 30-year-old black man. Boosie, if you got caught with running guns this grown ass age,
And he
you know
know
what I
he ain't
mean?
supposed to have no guns.
You're not supposed to have no guns, bro.
Stupid
That's
shit.
on. Hey, hold on, but yeah, I got you. But hold on, that's on you. Now your son, you know what I mean? Of course, I don't want to hear nobody talk about killing each other. But your son, bro, you know what I mean? You brought again on your father. You brought them up looking a certain type of way, even though they're suburban kids, bro. Now they talking about shooting and shit, and you're entertaining entertainers, bro. I have a problem with him saying that, but I don't really have a problem with Charleston White in totality. I think y'all need to quit like boo-hooing on the messenger because y'all not really brave enough to do it yourself. For real. That's what it comes down to. A lot of people not brave enough to really do the things to be courageous that they need to do to affect change immediately. You know what I mean? But y'all rather, I mean, and it's cool setting up laws and shit like that, but letting people know like, hey, Young Thug is a caricature and he's a snitch and all of this shit that they've been putting in front of your face is fake. I'm gonna go ahead talk crazy about it was necessary, bro. So like you saying that whole character phase of Charleston White is unnecessary. I disagree with that, bro. Like, yeah,
Rashad,
fundamentally.
if I can get 30 seconds quickly, because like you didn't go against anything I actually said because I actually do those things in the community. What I spoke against was the fact when I made the connection between him and Umar, they want glory and praise. Those who actually just want change don't care about being glorified within the change. They care about the results of the community getting better. When I made changes, when I helped other city councilmen and things of that nature, I don't care about it because I didn't do it by myself, but I helped. I was boots on the ground and I care about the change actually happening. Like I work in the school system now. I work in an affinity group with young black boys now. That's why I spoke about the young man who's on the show with Roland Martin, King something, who has been able to do stuff with grassroots with donations and he's never asked mass media for anything. And he said, and he's talked about Umar. He's like, I don't disagree with Umar and stuff, but I'm not
No,
going
he
to go about
trolls
it that way.
every time he makes a post on Instagram.
I'm not,
He
I'm
troll
not,
and make
I,
a
I'm not
so
going to go
like
about
so
that.
with
He's
that same
affected.
tactic that you talking about, he uses, bro. He said, "Hey, like I'll probably go pull up a post where he said he's bringing up some like trendy shit, some controversial shit, like on some or maybe even like agreeing on some conservative shit."
and he's trolling, and then he starts talking about the 4X for boys school. Like, and I get it, I rock
Conservatism
with that.
is
But
not inherently
what I
bad,
have a
brother.
problem with is I think there's a group of people that are not courageous enough to affect direct change the way Charleston White is
Oh my
doing
God, bro!
it,
This man
and
talking
y'all
about
got a
Charleston White
problem
like
with it. Y'all
Malcolm
don't
X,
like the
bro.
way that he's doing it, but
All
y'all
right,
not
hold on, hold on,
courageous
hold
to
on, hold
do
on,
it.
hold on.
We
One
talking about
second,
Malcolm,
ODB,
Malcolm X.
because and then we're gonna get to
Not
what's my
Malcolm
guy
X, bro.
name?
Don't do that,
Negro
bro.
Black Knight.
Charleston White is a buffoon, bro.
But so
It's
you're
necessary.
saying,
We need that, bro.
hold on, wait. I think we need the actual work, right? I don't think we need the antics. And you're saying that they're one and the same, and I don't necessarily think so for everybody, right? There are some people that can separate the tone from the actual message. But I think we've seen on a daily basis that a lot of people can't, right? Even if I have the best intentions for ODB, if I say something in a way that you can't receive the message, I don't necessarily know if you will receive the message. And so Charleston White is saying these things in which I'd said from the beginning, he has a lot of validity in his mindset, his talking points, and his thought process. But when you're saying it like this, I don't necessarily think it's going to go over well for the community, because we now only see you as the character. When people talk about Charleston White, they talk about the antics. They don't talk about his work. They don't talk about the message. They talk about him saying that he gonna kill Tootie Raw. They talk about how he's calling people a snitch. They talk about how he is, saying he gonna beat somebody up, or he's in the ring, Aiden Ross show promoted. So I think that even he's getting lost in the sauce,
No,
and where his eye is off the
no, I think
prize.
y'all niggas are
And so
lost in the
now we
sauce,
only
bro.
know him as this one
I think
person.
y'all niggas is lost in the sauce. Like, for one, like you was saying, like, I agree with what you saying, but I don't think you're looking at it at larger scale. When he was very first started, like he said, nobody was listening to him. Well, and what I gotta disagree with, when we had a conversation about Charleston White, it always is this thing. Like, oh, he's good for the community, so we do end up having these type of conversations when they based around Charleston White, which I feel like are necessary. And then I gotta ask y'all a question. So y'all don't think it was necessary to humanize the caricatures like of rap stars, like the Dirks, all of these, and humanize them and say, okay, if you're a street dude like Dirk and apparently you really was killing people, guess what? You could be going to jail for real life. If you was a fake one like Young Thug, you gonna end up snitching, being like, to demystify this bullshit that's been affecting our community, that's been coming out of the music, bro. Like, I think that all of that shit was necessary. Somebody did need to point that out, and that's not going to be done through legislation. Somebody just gonna have to call that out. You know what I mean? He's been the liaison for that, bro. Everybody got their role. You know what I mean? So yeah,
Hold on, let's get to Negro Knights,
I'm
Negro
not
Black
answer the
Knights. What's
question
the
or
word? How
answer the,
you
but
feeling
I
today?
answer the. Y'all don't think it was necessary to
Hello.
Hold
demystify
on,
them?
wait.
I
I'm
want to
gonna
go.
answer it after he goes. Hopefully he answers it.
All right. Thank you. I'm not even going to address that. I want to address the
Yeah,
topic of
you're
the
not
room.
making a
Thank you for having this space. I look at Charleston White as a hater of young black men. He wished death on that young man, Carmelo Anthony, right? Didn't have all the facts, but he wished death on him, just like he wishing death on another young black brother in the damn comments section, right? This is a grown man attacking our black youth, attacking our young black men, but you got goofies on this stage right now thinking that that's a cosign that old men should be preying upon young black children and young black men. I don't roll like that. I think that's unbecoming a man and not even being masculine. That's a coward, right? Wishing death on a young brother. You should be ashamed of yourself for even anybody that's operating in that manner. But he don't have that type of energy for white folks. And that's the problem that people such as myself, when I look at a Charleston White, I never seen him go off attacking white people who like shoot up these schools and all that other stuff. He don't go berserk on them. He don't run them down. He don't run a campaign, but he want to have the N-word nation, knowing that dang well that we're trying to fight and try to preserve our image as a people. That man is a coon in every sense of the word. And I'm standing on that. And anybody that's out here co-signing this man's actions and behavior, I think you should do a strong reevaluation of who you are as a man and as a person. Because this man wished death on a younger brother, and he's the older man. He's supposed to be the example, and he ain't the example. He's actually an outcast amongst some of the real men in society. No real man want to have that dumb idiot near us because he don't care about our people. He likes to profit off our people, no different from the dang white man. All right. So that's what I wanted to say
Y'all only
specifically
so offended
about,
because you idol worship. That's what the problem is,
yeah,
bro.
no, brother. I don't idol
This
worship.
nigga
Don't
sound
even
like
throw
the
that on me
leader of
as
the
a
Koofy
Christian man.
gang.
Idolatry
Like,
is gonna send you to hell, brother.
dude,
How you feel
I
about
don't
Tyler
idolize
Perry
no
and Young
man.
Thug and these niggas?
One mic. Let Negro finish, and then I
Like,
want
like,
ODB to
like,
respond. Then we got Mr. Cummins,
man,
and then we'll
we
put
got a lot of people that put their faith in other men instead of looking at their actions and behavior and how they treat our community. Like, they like men that destroy our community and disrespect our youth and our children, I guess. Like, I wouldn't want you around my damn child. I wouldn't want you around my children with that type of thought
all right.
process.
Go ahead, ODB. We got Mr. Cummins and Fresh and DB.
Yeah, bro. I just think the problem is like people, like you said, Rashad. I mean, maybe I don't know what the level is of like where people, how they view celebrities versus like how, the household they were growing up in. But maybe people do have a problem like digesting the message. You know what I mean? But I do know we end up having these conversations. And for me personally, the demystification of the rap shit that was going on, all of the campaigns around like the snitching or no snitching, bro. I already came up here before and I told you how I feel. I'm pro snitching, bro. I think that's one of that fake street shit that niggas be on because they like young 16-year-olds to be able to take charges for grown ass men because they said they're going to take care of them. Like, no, go ahead and snitch on that nigga, bro. Go ahead and snitch on that nigga. Go ahead. You got the rest of your life ahead of you, bro. So there's a lot of parts of what Charleston White says is right. You know what I mean? But also like, I don't know if y'all don't think that process needed to be done. And I don't know, I guess if y'all was doing it, how y'all would go about doing it, demystifying these rap stars like they actual something to like, you know, to aspire to
Yo,
be.
so you condone him attacking young black people, right? Like, you got to stand on that, brother,
Do I
because I ain't
condone,
co-signing
are
none
you
of his
asking me, do I
behavior.
condone everything Charleston White does? No, obviously not, bro. I don't condone everything. No, nobody
Then
does, bro. I'm a grown
okay.
ass man.
Then the
But you
thing is,
arguing, but you
no,
want to
no,
make a weird straw man
the
argument. I'm
thing,
not arguing
no,
against
it's
Hold on,
you.
wait
not a
1 second.
straw man.
So you
It's not
got
a
it,
straw
bro.
man argument. I'm counting his
It's not
behavior
me versus
and
you. It's
how
you versus
he, wait,
Charleston White,
The
brother.
thing is this. The thing is this is ODB. He has threatened the life of another black person. See, I'm against black on black killing, brother, just for the record. That's something that we should not be doing or promoting.
You need
But
to
you
be in
think that that's
Chicago
cool,
and
but he
Atlanta
has
right
no smoke.
now.
No, hey,
Why
I
do you
think
keep
that
saying I do? But hold
but
on,
he ain't
nigga.
got,
Why you keep saying
but he
I
ain't
do
got
that when
no
I just told you I don't agree with everything he does, bro? I think he
because
has.
you out
So
here
don't
taking
do
the
it.
parts of his, because you taking his word as something that should be amplified to build our discussion around instead of
Parts of
finding
it,
more of a suitable
parts of the
person that
conversation
has
for
of
sure.
merit.
Parts of the
No,
conversation
no,
has a
so.
space in
I
the
just want to
community.
ask this question. I'm gonna put this question out there, then we're gonna get to Mr. Cummins. What good is the message if the messenger doesn't receive it? What good's the message?
and it
I
ain't,
would like
it
somebody to
is
answer
not
that. Go ahead,
good.
Mr. Cummins.
Does everybody have to get the message? Like,
Yo,
do
what's up
you
with
get
it,
the
everybody?
message? Like, come on.
No, not everybody's not gonna get the message, and that's what makes so. When it comes to Charleston White, he really remind me of my uncle, right? My uncle, like 67, with a 5-year-old, and fucking was shooting at somebody out on Kinsman and shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I had to tell my uncle, I had to sit my uncle down. He felt like I was questioning his manhood because I had to sit him down and be like, "Unc, you too old for that shit." You know what I mean? You too old to be fighting. You too old to be shooting at motherfuckers. And he like, what you mean? And I'm like, okay, what you gonna do? Fight me? And then he realized, like, damn, my nephew will beat my ass. Yes, I would, So you need to stop the shit, right? And Charleston White, right? If he really wants to talk about great leadership, great leaders, right, don't talk about how they're great leaders. Their followers do. I don't see anybody go on a podcast and then attest their greatness to Charleston White, right?
OD's attesting his greatness.
I just
Let Mr. Cummins finish. Go
even
ahead,
though
Mr. Cummins.
there's exceptions to rules, but I'm just being honest. Like, you don't see people like rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. But Chadwick Boseman gave his flowers to Denzel Washington, right? Denzel Washington didn't come out and say like, "Oh yeah, I'm making these young actors." These young actors just came and attested their success to his leadership, right? If Charleston White was really that great leader he would be saying he is, then people would just be speaking on his behalf and saying like, Charleston White changed my life. Charleston White, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? So not only is he giving the message that it's hard for me to believe, he's not preaching, he's not practicing what he preached, bro. You too old to be out there in boxing gloves, bro. Your ligaments can't handle a good punch, bro. They putting you out there against a weak young man just to feed your ego, and you can't see it. Put it up, man.
Go ahead.
Charleston White.
Go ahead,
So
Fresh.
it's a song by Nas, right? It talks about this. He's like, Charleston White is in his second childhood, right? We call him a teener, as the brother just explained and said about his uncle, right? He had to get him out of that mindset. Charleston White wants the glory and the young nigga fame that he missed in his youth. That's what he wants. Like, because if you're really about to change, as the brothers just said, as the brother, the Negro Black Knights, as he just said, and as I said to start this off, like, you don't care about the glory. You care about the change. So I'm not going to adhere to the world for the change I'm looking for. I'm going to make the change. So I'm not going to come out talking like the young people I'm trying to change. Like, I'm not gonna have to do that. I'm gonna talk to them with respect. I'm gonna uplift them in the way that I want them to uplift themselves. I'm gonna be the example of what I am purporting, not an example trying to assimilate with them. That right there is counterintuitive and counterproductive. And that's what Charlton White is doing. It's double-minded. Right? Like, he wants to come off as an intellectual, but he wants to be a caricature, and he wants the glory and the entertainment value of that. Like, he wants to get the followers and all that things of that. That's why I compared him to Umar, and I'm not understanding like how some people don't see that direct point. They're saying, well, he does do some good. And it's like, brother, when he was working with congressional members and he was doing things in Houston and other places, that was respectful, bro. Like, you were making change. You don't need to see my name. You don't need to know my name to know I'm making change, because the work is going to speak for itself. And I'm going to be satisfied with the fact that I actually affected change in the community. And as the brother just said, others will speak about the effect. You won't have to uplift yourself. You won't have to praise yourself and, oh, I did this and I did this. No, others will say,
So I'm gonna
hey
just
man,
assume
Fresh
all of
did
y'all
this.
think all of the
Hey bro,
shit that's going on
can
in
I finish?
negative
Can we
urban
finish,
culture is
bro?
good though.
Hold on,
Can we finish,
ODB.
bro?
We got a lot
That's
of
what I'm
hands.
saying.
We got
And
to
I'm
get to the
gonna finish
hands. Let
up.
Fresh
Yeah, I'm
land.
finished up because I'm saying like if multiple people have come up here and give you multiple different analysis of this of this lens, and you keep pushing back with these certain questions that really are hollow, because of the fact that no, he's not doing good to the community. He is not saving anybody. He's just doing inflammatory shit for entertainment value. People have been calling out gang culture. He's not new to that. Rappers have been calling it out. People have been calling him corny. People have been conscious and doing this stuff forever. He's not new. He didn't invent the wheel. He wants
I
to get
didn't
on
say call out
Instagram.
gang culture, bro.
He
See,
said, hold
y'all
on.
fight straw man so hard
Let me
though.
finish.
Let him speak.
Let me finish. Exactly. So just like he talking about, he wants to help the
That don't
community.
make it right because
What is
another man said that.
what does going on 20 versus 1 have to do with helping the community? What does doing all this stuff have to do with the community? That man wants to be a celebrity, just like Umar. They want to be praised. They don't want change. They want to actually affect change.
Can I wait? Umar,
So
Hold on,
can I
wait.
ask my
Hold
question
on, hold on,
again,
hold on, hold
Rashad?
on. We
Can
got a
I
lot
ask
of
my
hands.
hold
We
on,
got a
Rashad?
lot of hands. Hold on, fellas. We got a lot of hands, and I see y'all hands.
But
We got to
niggas
get
trying
to
to
them. We got some
dogpile
folks that
though.
ain't spoke
So
yet.
let me just ask one question, bro. And if anybody brave enough, they can ask.
Man,
Do
we
you
don't want to
do
hear from
you
your
think
snitch ass
do
right now.
do you think the demystification of the rap industry was necessary? Yes or no,
It
bro? No,
happened.
none of y'all.
What niggas saying is you can do that in a different way, but we gonna get back to you, DB. We got Dukester, we got Mushy, we got A Dog. Go ahead. What's the word? How you
Niggas
feeling,
ain't getting no
Dukester?
solutions, just problems.
Dukester.
Yeah. Good afternoon. Yeah, Charleston White is a clown. Okay, he's a straight up clown. He's about 50 years old. He out around here when the dude got killed. When a little girl got killed, he said, "Fuck the baby." We need to start. Are we really having this conversation about this dude? That's the reason why he's famous right now, because people don't get it. Us as black men, nah, man, this dude ain't. You talking about this dude is cool? Come on, man. That's what's wrong with the black youth. So we look up to little clowns like that. He ain't no Martin Luther King. He ain't no Malcolm X. He ain't nothing on that goddamn level. He's a clown. He's damn near close to a smoker. You the type of nigga you send him to the store. Hey man, go get these cigarettes, homie. Dude's a clown. Y'all gotta see this shit, man. My young brothers, y'all gotta see this. I don't care what he say. That's good. He talking about fuck that baby and she got killed in the car. A young black baby. Baby was only like 6 years old. He said outlandish things. That's why they put him in the algorithm like that. Cause he said the things that harm black people. You got a child that's 6 years old, got killed with her father, and he's trying to gain publicity off of it. And he cool? Come on, man. We got to do better as black men, homie. Dude is not cool. He say outlandish things so he can blow up in his racist in his racist country where everybody gonna like it because he's saying it. That's why he's famous. He said fuck Nipsey. He's talked about us like a dog. That dude.
Yeah, I do think you getting a black person to be in those circles. Now, do I agree with everything that Nipsey did or the young man I forgot what his name was who
Young
did get
Dolph.
killed with his
Young
daughter?
Dolph.
Huh? No,
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 you
the
talking
guy
about
who
a
got
dude
killed
in
with his
Fort
daughter.
Worth that got killed with his baby at the car
Yeah.
wash.
Yeah, I think that getting a like we got Jason Whitlocks of the world, right? We got Robert Griffin III's of the world, and where a black person seemingly being against black culture is going to get you a lot of money, right? Because that is what white people like to see, just in news, because it validates their perspective and their narrative of black culture as a whole. So we throw out like the Clarence Thomases of the world, all these guys, and we're, look, these ones aren't like you. And I think that, Charleston White is falling into that a little bit
See,
much,
he and
right? Where he sees that there's profitability in it, and so now he's leaning into it
exactly.
when it's opposite of the cause, right? I think him getting laws changed to benefit black people in the beginning, and now speaking out in these type of ways, and where, yes, demystifying hip hop, I understand that. Demystifying rap and street culture, I understand that shit. You don't have to go in like he's going in to do that, because we're not looking at that anymore. Nobody's looking at Charleston White as a whole as this person who is trying to bring change to the black community. They're looking at Charleston White as the black man who loved Trump. They're looking at Charleston White as the black man who said he's going to kill these rappers and beat these rappers up. And I can't wait for you to touch me so I can retaliate. They're looking at him like that. So that's why I say he drinking the Kool-Aid, lost in the sauce, because whatever you think you're doing, that's not what the blogs are posting. They're posting you and your foolishness and your antics. They're not even posting the stuff that you're trying to do or get accomplished, because seemingly it's not that anymore. Go ahead, Mushy.
Yeah, man. Who was the brother that was just speaking? He's
Duke, sir.
Yeah, Duke. Yeah, Duke is completely right with this shit, man. He's just a fucking clown. You know what I'm saying? Like, and if you just was doing the shit the right way at first, now you coming up here talking something, oh, I made snitching cool, or, you know what I'm saying, he going at kids and talking down on us. That's all he does. You know what I'm saying? He's not here to uplift anymore. Like, all you doing is talking down on niggas and shit. You got if you know the struggle, why is you down in the struggle instead of trying to keep helping, instead of going at motherfuckers? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the way you do it. You shut the fuck up and you keep your head down and you keep on trying to work and goddamn get the shit done.
Are you saying the same shit the last nigga
Hold on,
said?
let him
Who
get
else
it
can
off, hey
talk?
dog. We got you next.
Right. That's it. And then I just want to come up here. ODB, bro, you gotta stop with this goddamn snitching shit, bro.
No,
Like,
bruh. Nah, no, listen. We can have a conversation about it, bruh. This is what it is.
We gonna have a
We can have a
conversation about, listen, we gonna
yeah,
have a
we can have a
conversation about that,
conversation when
because
it's my
Mushy,
turn for
Man, he
sure.
better be snitching on them white folks. He
Hold on,
better be
wait.
snitching on
Mushy
them
did
white
feel a
folks
way
and
about that, and I
immigrants.
think that is an interesting conversation for y'all two to have. But let's get to the hands first, and then we're gonna circle back to
all
that.
right, back
Should we
on.
give a
Go
mic to
ahead.
somebody that got freaking what's that wrestler on his profile who's calling people the
Shut
N
the
word?
fuck up, nigga. Nobody talking to you.
We don't need, listen, we're not gonna get to this is not no back and forth bullshit, right? Y'all can have a conversation without all that. Go ahead, A-Dog.
Exactly. Thank you, Rashad. Fist in the air. But so I wanted to speak to his methods, Charleston White's methods, and how people don't like what he did. Obviously, you're saying like something. You understand that he used to,
You breaking up, A-Dog?
you know. Hello, y'all hear me?
Yeah, you good. Go ahead.
All right. Y'all understand that he used to be for a quote unquote certain message or try to help the youth and things like that, because he used to outwardly express that, that blatantly, that message explicitly. And he has stated before that he didn't see that message working at the rate that, he thought it should be. So he saw more kids and more youth gravitating towards the negativity. So he decided to use the negativity to troll that extremist, that violence, that whatever it is that we claim we don't like, but yet we defend the perpetuation of it onto, the youth and everything. And then when everyone says, oh shit, he's wilding out, it's like he's doing the exact same thing that half the rappers are doing out here. And then when other kids are like, or other people are like, oh shit, I'll fuck with him, it's like, do they actually fuck with the message that he's trying to, do they see through the double speak, the double whatever shit y'all say because you can't think both ways? Or are they actually falling for, I can see the danger that y'all are saying that he's pushing. The same thing I would say with Nick Fuentes, that's another thing. But come on, y'all. There's a
Bro, get
method to
the hell out
people's
of here. Nick
madness. Everybody's
Fuentes
yin
is
and
not the
yang.
same
Like,
person.
nobody is gonna think the same way that y'all do, so.
Man, this guy got a Hulk Hogan thing. This is
Hold,
why we should
hold
listen to
on,
these
hold on, hold on,
coons.
hold on, hold on.
Nigga, shut up, you
That's
dumb.
just what he likes to do. All right, that's just what he likes to do. You got to come around. That's who A Dog is. But listen, let me ask you a
She
question.
Hulk Hogan.
Let me ask you a question, A Dog and DB or ODB.
And Hulk Hogan
Um,
and Charleston White
hold
won
on,
the
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I just want to ask y'all a question because y'all seem to be pro Charleston White's
I
methods,
don't agree
right?
with A Dog though. He talking about Nick. He
Yes,
talking
sir.
about
Yes,
Nick
I
sir.
So,
Fuentes.
I,
strongly against what A
Nah,
Dog
no.
and
So let me.
ODB saying.
yeah, so I understand what you're saying. You're against the Nick Fuentes. Let me get the question out, fellas. So, because you guys seem pro his methods, you can't, in my opinion, you can't separate the person from the character when all we see is the character, right? At some point, this is you, because this is the only thing that you are showing us every time your ass get in front of a camera,
You
right?
never
From the
listen to what he said.
20V1s to all this other shit. This is all you're showing us. So how can we separate that from who you quote unquote are? That's a
You never
legitimate
heard when
question.
he said "fuck Nipsey Hussle."
Rashad, hang on. Let me
Hold on,
answer
hold
that
on, hold
question.
on, hold
Let me
on.
answer that question.
Hey, dog, you
Rashad,
never, Rashad, you never heard it.
all right,
Hold on, you
go ahead,
never
go
heard
ahead,
him
go
say
ahead, go
when he
ahead,
said
go
"fuck
ahead.
Nipsey Hussle," bro.
Yes, I
So
heard
you
that.
didn't, you listened to the whole clip when he definitely he went in there and said, I'm sorry about the man, but he said "fuck Nipsey Hussle," and he went and explained the whole shit that he was saying.
He likes
But
Hermes.
ODB,
He
this is
doesn't
what
like
I'm
Nipsey.
saying.
He
He said he
likes
likes Hermes.
Hermes.
Exactly. He said he likes Hermes. He's like, but like, so that's exactly what he's talking about. So if you're not, now my problem, what y'all keep saying is, maybe it's a level of like, that message is necessary. What I'm saying. I don't agree with everything or the way that he does everything, but the demystification, if we both can agree that it's necessary and you don't got no plan to do it, you don't know nobody that got no plan to do it, but it needs to be done. Well, hey, fuck it. Let that nigga do it. He doing it the way that he's doing it. That's the way, but not,
Thank you.
and
Rashad,
not,
let
and
me
not,
answer
and
your
the
question.
only reason that y'all end up getting so angry about it, I think y'all you can see the level of idolatry worship where people get offended by it. Cause I don't care about Charleston White, yay or nay, for real. But he does have some shit that he's right on, but he got some shit that he wrong on too.
Bro,
So
what is
like,
the
I don't see what's wrong with
idolatry?
saying that.
Okay,
Hold
hang
on,
on,
wait, let A
Rashad, let
Dog
me
answer
answer
the
your
Using
question.
question. Go
shit, no,
ahead, A
no.
Dog.
Okay, hang on. If you can repeat your question real quick, because I feel like I knew exactly what the fuck.
You are, it's difficult to separate Charleston White, the person, in Charleston White, the character, because the only thing that he shows us is the character. And
Okay,
so,
my
do you?
question, my answer. I'm gonna answer your question with a question. Do you think that you're at any point in time are you able to know what's in somebody's heart?
Sometimes,
It's
not always.
rhetorical. The answer is no, but no matter what action, somebody who you deem as bad, who you've seen do bad shit for as much as you've known them, and keep in mind, we only see these people through cameras. We were talking about somebody else before, Jocelyn. It's like, oh, she's good or she's bad. We've only seen her through cameras. She knew cameras were on her. She acts a certain way. Anyway, we only see that. So if we judge someone through what we see through a camera as good or bad, and then when they do something that's the opposite of what we deem them, can we say, oh, that thing, that good or whatever bad thing that they're doing isn't that because we have this opposite perception of them? Like, this whole shit is very complex, and it seems like us just looking at a one track thing the whole time, and if someone doesn't align with that shit, then it must mean like what, they're crazy, they're wrong, they're bad. It's like, I don't know, it just seems
I
That
think
ridiculous.
if he's using his social media as a medium to get his message out, right? Because we're not looking for Charleston White to make quote unquote change in the community in a motherfucking magazine or a newspaper, right? We're looking for what he is doing based on what he's telling us. So it is double-mindedness in where you're trying to speak to what you're doing in the community and tearing down the community at the same time. And then now you're not even necessarily speaking towards what you're doing, because at the end of the day, he's not slow. So if he says fuck Nipsey Hustle, we're going to see that, right? And nobody is going to talk about the other stuff because that is what's most front facing. If you are talented enough and educated enough to get your message out without the salaciousness, I think that that would be more speaking towards, you know, Charleston White and who he is, but he's not. He only can get
But
this message
one
out
last thing.
with this foolishness.
One last thing. I'll respond and let everybody else go. If you look at Charleston White through the lens of like Sasha Cohen, you know, the dictator, fucking Borat, shit like that, with obviously through the black Southern, you know, Uncle Ruckus lens, you see that they're trying to display a message through a certain satire, through a certain sarcasm, through a certain type of rhetoric, like an art form. If you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. I can't raise niggas' intellects in an hour, so.
See, with that
My
qualifier
dad
bullshit.
said,
Niggas
life
are
ain't a game and these niggas playing. And so
Shout out to Nick Fuentes.
when you talking about getting through to community and community things that are generationally detrimental to community, and you bringing up words like satire, like nigga, this ain't no goddamn game. What is we talking about?
Satire and compared to drugs, violence,
Please, Rashad.
any amount of
Yeah,
crime. It doesn't matter what type of lifestyle you're into. Compared to all the crime and the glorification of the crime, you're mad at Uncle Ruckus? Yo, stop. This is enough.
he's a
Enough.
part of the problem too, but
This is exactly
go
why
ahead,
Aaron Nick
Memphis.
Bruder stopped making Boondocks.
Hey,
Go ahead, Memphis.
That's not
dog,
exactly
come
why he
on, baby,
made stop
please.
making Boondocks. Stop it.
Hold on, wait, Mr. Cummings.
Hello,
We got you.
hello, thank you. Uh,
Read me the
I,
brochure.
excuse me, please. Y'all have had a sausage fest for the last hour. Can a woman please speak? There is never a fucking day on this motherfucking earth that it is okay for a grown ass man to get his ass on the fucking internet and threaten to kill a motherfucking kid. I don't give a fuck what that kid said to you. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? The fact that this man actively goes on the internet and attempts to troll and trick people off they motherfucking square is crazy as hell. He is a problem for the black community. He is in no way, shape, or form a help. Because as soon as he meets someone with his small ass intellect and they actually shoot that bitch ass nigga, then we got a motherfucking another problem in the goddamn black community. What the fuck is this goddamn conceptualizing and intellectualizing this degenerative ass behavior? I don't understand it. This shit he does is not acceptable. Does Boosie deserve to go to jail for being on live with a goddamn pistol in his motherfucking back pocket? Absolutely. The nigga stupid as hell. Should that kid not have taken his ass on the internet to respond to that troll? Absolutely. But at one point, do we start goddamn doing better in how we interact with each other, especially on this fucking internet? This shit is too global. People see this shit all over the world. And for some people, who he is who all of us are, is a representation to them of who we all are in this room right now. And that's some bullshit. That ain't no shit I'm ever caping for.
Go ahead, Mr. Cummings, and then Fresh, and then Negro.
So I feel like nobody addressed the point me and Fresh, I've been calmly waiting, but like nobody addressed the point me and Fresh said about how there's no other influencers attesting their greatness to Charleston White. Like, I understand that we may have some fans of him, you know what I mean, whether they say how much, to what degree of a fan they are, right? No, they're still not, there's been valid points made that they refuse to rebut. And, he's still the old crazy unk. They not talking about, it's I think it's crazy the fact that he can have all these actions and then go on podcasts and we talk about, man, he talk good in the podcast. So I just like, okay, I really want to open my section up to answer that. Like, can y'all answer that? Like, are you,
Yeah, the naysayers ain't up here no
they
more.
not? Oh, okay.
No, and that's the problem, brother. And that's the thing, right? They want to troll. That's why they agree with him, because that's what they want to do, even in these space. Like, we really have actual, like, full spectrum conversations, and like Rashad really tries to facilitate that. And yes, there's going to be some entertainment. There's going to be time for laughs in there, but that we actually get to the crux and the nitty gritty of conversation. We talk about a myriad of things, from entertainment to political landscape, and they don't want to do that. Like the brother, he got
And
up.
they dip out.
Yeah, he got up here and did everything he said, right? He got up here and told me I was wrong, right? Then did not answer to why I was wrong, right? And then like they get up here and they say like, oh, the trolling and all these things, like and talking about demystification. People have been demystifying hip hop and gang culture, all these things for years. They're not inventing the wheel, and they've actually done it better. They have actually changed more actual lives on the landscape. This might be one of the first generations, right? Because the last generation, we're seeing it die out. This is one of the first generations where gang culture is not that enriched. I'm in the school systems where they actually are starting to look at it as lame, where more kids don't see like doing right as such a bad thing. Like you're seeing a small shift. What you're seeing is the mainstream media continue to push bullshit, right? Because they are losing the grip. That's why graphics.
Yeah, for real though. Like,
That's
rap culture is the reason why we have 988 now.
that's why graphics.
Like, it's 911, right? For like emergencies, but like if there's like a mental health emergency and you really about to stress out and shoot this nigga, you can dial 988 and someone
You've
will
been
come
I
out
don't
listening
to
know
to
that.
how
too
that's
much
on
Gucci
Now let
platform.
Mane.
me.
I don't know how that's on music, but hold on, A Dog, let
No,
Negro
it's
go
part of
and
advocacy,
you can
but
answer Mr.
we can
Cummings'
talk
question.
later about that later.
Go ahead, Negro.
Okay, so one of the things that I look at Charleston White is a perpetual of inter-ethnic racial discrimination and bias, right? This man is willing to harm our own people, but he has no smoke for the white man or the dominant society. That's the one thing that I see as a continual behavior. One of the things that I talk about is, I look at him as a form of a scammer, no different from a Dr. Umar, but from a different perspective. And this is what I call a social media Negro called Cassidy accuser and scammer. He goes online accusing people from our community of doing certain things, good, bad, or indifferent, with the intentions of profiteering off of those things as a hustle to create a political agenda against our people, right? That's negative. So he'll talk about the gang culture, this, that, and the third, even though black American people have almost digressed away from gangbanging in general due to the fact that the laws that has gang injunction laws, depending on the state, that put that put high amount of years on black folks and a whole bunch of other things. Wait, man, wait.
Hold on, wait, let him finish.
Yeah, so
We
the
about to round
point
this
that
one out.
the thing is that he has this political agenda that he's waging against our community from a white supremacist perspective and or narrative with the intentions of aiding in a genocide against our people. Because we know that the criminal justice system is unfair in how they treat our people. We know that we can't get justice anywhere due to the fact we don't even have reparations and repair. So when you have somebody who is willing to shout white supremacy lines but won't shout that we need per se reparations, that's a problem, especially with a platform that he has. So those are just some of the things I do want to highlight and the reason why he is a scammer to a certain extent.
Go ahead, A Dog, then we got Fresh. We're gonna round this out.
All I was going to say is, obviously everything I explained was disregarded because I laid it out pretty clearly of how he did exactly what y'all think a black person should do when trying to help the youth, underprivileged youth, things like that. And he saw that it wasn't working and they were more influenced by the negative parts of the culture. And so he decided to use those negative parts of the culture as a theme to make it look ridiculous, as the Boondocks was intended to do. I don't understand how people are saying and just be like, you know what? Anyone who supports him is stupid and racist. But it's like y'all are gonna keep doing the same exact thing that hasn't been helping black people for how long? until you realize that niggas are gonna get fed up and start doing, oh shit, let me go the opposite side of the coin and see what other niggas are doing, and let me try to use that. Like, we can't just keep doing the same fucking shit all the time. Alright, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Yeah, that's
Fresh.
ridiculous because the Boondocks also gave us solutions and like the antithesis to the negativity. Like, and that's why I'm not understanding. Like, they gave you the Uncle Ruckus, but they also gave you the other side of it. Like, they used satirical and the satire actually landed. Charleston White is only using the satire, benefiting from the satire, and now he is stuck in the character. He's not doing anything to actually enrich the community, right? As opposed to when you talk about, that's why I brought up the dude like King Randall, whether you agree with his politics or whatever, what have you, he shows, like, if you donate, he'll shout your name out. He'll at you and say, thank you for donating. He's being transparent, right? As opposed to Umar, right? He's being transparent. He's showing himself actually working with kids, teaching them
Did
vocational
the
skills.
Boondocks donate to
Brother,
black people?
let me finish. Let me
Let
finish,
him
brother.
finish. We about to wrap
Let
this
me
up.
finish.
Let him
He's
finish.
showing like actual skills and doing what he says. That's what I'm saying. When he went on TV against the Shields, right? And I don't agree with whether it's political, I mean, whether it's a Democrat or Republican. He went on there and said, hey, we can do more things grassroots. Because you people, like, a lot of times I see people in the comments, people getting caught up on the celebrity of it because that's what Charleston White wants to be. People blasted Kamala Harris when she brought Meg Thee Stallion out there rather than bringing somebody who's done grassroots work within the community out there to enrich. It's like they always make us a caricature and make us look foolish.
He just ignoring my point,
Rather
but
than
anyway.
people, because your point is stupid, and it's been stupid, brother. You just like the other brother.
Very dehumanizing, thank you.
Cool, thank you. And it's stupid. That's what I'm saying. People feed into stuff like this. They feed into trolling and all these things of that nature, rather than if people are actually going out and doing the work. People have been demystifying. For every gangster rapper, there's been a common, right? There's been a Talib
Fuck your
Kweli.
thumbs down, bitch.
There's been a Talib Kweli. There's been a common. People call them old niggas and all this stuff like that. But they've actually affected change. They've actually done things. They actually do things in Chicago. They
And
do
where
things.
are we at now?
Like these niggas, see, you saying where we are now in the mainstream media that's run by white people? White people are not going to show positive
Dog,
change. They're not going to
enough.
show us buying back acres, which we are doing in Georgia, which we are doing
Let
in
him finish,
Texas.
A-Dog.
They're not going to talk about the positive things. They're not going to talk about what's happening in Baltimore, right? How there's been more than a 30% drop in violent crime by a black mayor. They're not going to talk about that. They don't want to highlight those things. They're going to talk about the foolishness. Like you're feeding
Now
into the
you
same
want to
behavior
repeat the
Charleston
same
White is.
shit that's been repeated since the 70s that's got us
Bro,
nowhere.
you
Like, shut
doesn't,
the
but
fuck
that's
up
your
already,
business
damn.
about my house. You are, all right, bro. You idiot, bro.
A-Dog.
Like,
Go ahead. Go ahead, Fresh.
no, I'm saying like this. Is what I'm saying, like I would talk to him like I would talk to Charleston White, like I would little bro Charleston White, because like niggas gotta do that. You have to call it out in person because like you would talk and make fun of a little girl dying. You would talk and make fun of somebody dying rather than trying to actually reach them because you care about the glory. I don't care if they ever uttered my name on the internet. If I was able to save somebody, save a black man, a black child in the community, that would be the glory. Like I actually did something. Y'all want to be celebrities. Y'all want followers. Y'all want this. Y'all want that. Y'all don't want to actually do it. Just like them political people who get up there and say them same talking points because they want to be celebrities. Charleston White has fallen into that. He is not trying to affect change. And if you're following that, you're pushing that same bullshit.
Go ahead, Negro. Give us the last word.
Yeah, I want to say thank you for allowing me to speak and have the last word on this topic. Don't do what Charleston White has done. When you're doing the right thing, nobody's not going to reward you. Nobody's not going to give you a congratulation. That's just because you're doing the right thing. So now he wants to gravitate and do the bad thing, because he felt like he wasn't honored and respected enough. It shows that he was not operating in the purest intentions of making sure that our community image and everything, all the above when it comes to our community was in a correct manner. His sole purpose was to get noticed. His sole purpose was to make himself look good at the expense of our community. No different from a white man who said, let me help these poor Negroes over here. Right? And that's how I look at Charleston White. He's one of those type of dudes that people do need to address because of the things that he has said. We have people, white supremacists, really out here, both male and female, attacking our children, right? And then you got this goofy on the internet co-signing that and doing that same behavior, which shows to me is that black people don't deserve protection, that black people don't have a right to have protection here in the United States when you got our own people out here quietly undermining us for entertainment and clicks and everything else. That's why I said that he's pushing more of a political agenda against our community under the guise of whiteness. So, and he's doing it with his candy coated black skin. Cause this dude ain't nothing but a, what we call an Oreo from around the way. He black on the outside and white on the inside. He's white in his mind
Nasty.
and he's white in his heart. And I'll even go one step further. He probably got a white soul too, because he don't really care about the soul of the black folks. That's the type of time that reject is on. And anybody who's co-signing any aspect of it and not taking in consideration that he's threatening the future, he don't care about the future of our people. So I don't even know why he even talking about nation when he don't even care about the seeds of the nation. Man, this dude is a full class loser, and anybody that takes him seriously, they need to get their black card revoked. I don't care if they serve the country or not.
Listen.
They need to get they black. We need to start bringing that back. You are not invited to the barbecue. You need to get gun butted and sent on your way and go to them white folks barbecue with them finger sandwiches. That's what you need to do.
And the raisins in the
Yeah,
tuna
yeah,
salad.
yeah,
Listen,
yeah. That's the type of
I
time I'm
appreciate
on.
y'all. This has been another episode of Things of That Nature. Close to a Smoker. Repost the space, repost the space, repost the space. Follow the host. Follow the folks up here that says something good to you. Definitely appreciate it. This space is in the Things of That Nature community. Join the community, man. The Patreon is in the jumbo. There's a free tier. There's a $5 tier. There's a $10 tier. Whatever tier you decide to subscribe, I guarantee is quality content. You get a Discord link, which we will be having a viewing of the podcast. The first episode of the podcast drops September 26th. The viewing is September 27th, the day after. I definitely would appreciate y'all subscription to the Patreon. We are here Sunday through Friday, absent on Wednesday, but we are definitely here. Appreciate y'all. Until the next one, we out.